What's going on, guys? Freak here from the channel Frost and Fist, and I know you're probably sitting here enjoying the Friday night live stream or maybe even the Saturday UK friendly live stream, but I just want to take a few seconds to talk about our merch. That's right, the Frost and Fist got some merch, guys. We got a lot of really cool things that we think you might enjoy, like for example this t-shirt that I'm wearing. You'll see the Wolf Brother wear it on occasion as well. Not only that, we even have coffee mugs. Come on, you don't think a nice cup of Joe tastes heavenly coming from this bad boy? I submit that it does not. We got a bunch of other things out there as well. You can get really nice t-shirts, tank tops. That's right, guys. You can go around flexing your hobby muscles in front of the ladies. Oh yeah, you can't go wrong that way. You can even get socks. You can even get that cool banner like the one we got in the, like that one. That's right, that one. So we got a couple of things. Go check it out, guys. They're reasonably priced, and it will help us to continue this crazy cause. And thanks again for helping us out and giving us some support. Now, back to the show. It's Friday Night Live with your host, Wolf Brother Mythos and the Freak. And now for the car wreck of a show, the Frost and the Fist. Woo! And we are live!
What is up, beautiful people? Mythos.
And I am El Frico, and welcome to the show with our special guest, the Weather Pig. Yay!
Yes,
Long time no see.
One of our favorite guest returns, and it's so good to see you.
Yeah, awesome. All right, can everybody hear us okay? I'm typically expecting technical difficulty around this time.
We've been live streaming for what, 3 years now, and we almost always still have some kind of issue.
Yep, yep.
We're super pro.
Phoenix says you're all good. Well, dang it, let's break something.
Wait, no.
Exactly.
So,
We'll
what you been up to, Weather Pig, my man? How have you been?
I've been good. A lot of changes, actually. I've been new job, out of uni, painting different things, and I think most excitingly for yourself, back into wargaming. It's been very interesting.
Awesome.
So, I definitely want to talk to you about, some of the new directions with Weather Pig and all that. But of course, before we get into serious stuff, we always got to work in bits of the hobby. So what have you been working on lately? What you got for a poke chat?
What have I been working on? I've got a couple wargaming events coming up that I'm preparing for. There's one that's kind of like, what's it called in Warhammer? Where you've got a small team from mission to mission and you like recruit new people. Path to Glory.
Right.
I guess something similar to that, with Lord of the Rings equivalent. So I'm doing a little orc war band. And I'm painting up I just finished enough models to go to a tournament next month. My first ever tournament, which is exciting. And my first ever fully painted army.
Nice.
And you definitely didn't, jump in shyly. You're like, not only am I getting back into wargaming, but we're going to go straight tournament mode.
I never did when I was playing AOS. I always fought tournament lists, because when I got into AOS, it was tournament seasons. So I was the new kid on the block. And everyone's like, do you mind if I play with my Star Drake? And I'm like, oh, okay.
It definitely sucks being that guy. Everybody's testing out their tournament list. Yeah, no, I've had that happen to me a few times. Yeah. Especially when, Freak and I were first starting out. Everybody, I just dropped a link to the Weather Pig if you want to check out his channel. And of course, we're going to talk more about his channel later on.
You always get that guy that comes in with a freaking knight and like, oh, goody.
Oh, I've got my. Can you see him? Where's my knight? I forgot I had one.
You have to turn around and point. That's the kicker, bro.
There we go. No point. It's the return of the point.
I forgot I had a knight. I really need to do him.
I have one that I've painted up. I have a really, really beautiful one painted up for us by one of our friends. And I've got four that are unpainted, one big one and three minis. that are just kind of sitting there primed. I started it once upon a time.
I picked up something recently that I started ages ago, and it was a Stormcast Eternal that Kaiju sent me. Has been just sitting there half done for so long, and now I'm chipping away at him again, and so I'll get him done within the next 12 months.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
One Stormcast.
One Stormcast. By the way, I really liked your Stonecast video. That was really those were really cool looking.
That one's doing well. And I've got I'm thinking of, how did you feel about the skit at the start with the voice acting?
I really like that. I definitely would like to see more skits from you, but I really like your style of, humor comedy anyway. So
I've spoken to that guy. He's a YouTuber. He does he's more Gundam based. WizKids Gundam is his name. I need to catch up on him because he's very busy in his life. But he's open to coming back and voicing the character again, because the twist of that video was that I was painting the wrong model, which is actually true, because I filmed that bit with the unpainted model after I'd actually painted him. So that was another one. So I still
had a little bit at the end of your video where you were, you revealed the.
So I still have him unpainted, the one that's actually voiced in that. So we definitely plan to bring him back and bring Kyle back to voice him.
Nice. That's gonna be cool. I had seen like one other person before paint up statue colored Stormcast, the living statue kind of thing, but I didn't realize it was a trend until you brought it up. And then of course, after you bringing it up in your video, then I Googled it and found it was a whole trend going around for a while. So that's kind of cool.
I have a fair few actually. I've got a lot of, not a lot, but Kaiju sent me, he bought the subscription magazine for the Ghosts.
Mortal Realms, right?
So he threw some Stormcast my way. So I definitely want to try different things. I'm thinking of doing them in like gem colors and mucking around with the whole Stormcast thing.
That'd be cool. That'd be real cool. I'm going to say hello to the chat here. First, we got Axe Annex. Good to see you. Got, of course, one of our Smash captains in high orbit, the Commodore. And, of course, his lovely Phoenix, who says hello, fam.
Hello.
It's still early in the night. You've still got a couple more hours for things to go sideways.
Yeah.
She knows us. She knows us. And, of course, one of the most top-notch painters I've ever seen. We got Judge Gudge in the chat. Good to see you, Judge. And Madzo.
Yeah, ignore her.
Hello there.
No, don't give her attention.
Wow.
Friend of yours, I assume.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Oh man.
You imagine we're like, okay, yes, Matt. Oh, we are sorry, but we are hereby now going to give you attention. You shall be shunned here on the Frost and Fizz. Like, okay, great. 20 or 30 people unsubscribe. Yes.
But of course, because we have a pact with our bro, we're gonna follow his lead and not pay her any attention. And
That's right. No attention.
Chat, Matt, it's good to meet you.
Right? No attention to Matt O. None whatsoever. We're not even going to mention the name Matt O. I mean, for anything. Well,
And Kaiju is here too. Good to see you, Kaiju. Had a great painting session with Kaiju and some of our other friends last weekend. That was
Very
pretty
nice.
awesome.
Yeah, so we were talking about Kaiju. We were, we obviously can't call him Australian Jesus anymore because apparently, he lopped off all his locks. Like,
Oh,
what the frig, man?
Dude, I stopped mid-conversation when he came into the chat. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
So now he's no longer Australian Jesus. He's I don't know. I haven't seen him yet. I was asking you if he looked more like the gardener. I don't know. It's like I don't know what he looks like. It's like God. God, you send us some pictures, will you?
I feel like maybe he did an Instagram story at one point. It's ringing a bell. I can't remember.
Is that a guitar that you're smacking into?
No, it's an iron table that he pounds on and just reverberates. So.
Is that me?
Oh, I just heard a guitar sound. I thought maybe El Kabong had entered the chat for a second.
It might be my.
That as the mic. It's that
My
when
mic,
you hit
yes,
it reverberates. You've had the
It's
problem
attached to my
last time. Yeah,
I got a Colin in the chat. Is that the same Colin who does those amazing scratch builds?
Yep. Yes,
Oh,
it is.
that's awesome.
He put something in today, I think, in the Discord. I haven't had a chance to.
Oh, I haven't had a chance to see it either.
It
Colin, welcome to the stream. Phoenix Commodore. Yes, that was a great painting session. It was so good to hang out with you guys. Kaiju will always be the Australian Jesus in our hearts.
He will. You know what? Yeah, I agree with that. We'll look at him like, okay, who are you? Where's Australian Jesus?
And
Bring him back.
Kaiju did a great job of helping allay some of my fears about Australian spiders. I still can't go within many miles of it, but it allayed some of my fears.
Really? How? How though? How? It doesn't really matter because you're nowhere near Australia, so you're nowhere near anything.
I have a story that might undo that.
Do it. Do it. Break it to me.
So,
oh, God.
So it's hard to explain why I was in this scenario, but I was going to a house for work purposes that my business owns. Not my business, but the people I work for own. And I noticed the key was missing, so I thought the house had been stolen. Or someone had broken in. So while looking for evidence,
I like the phrase "the house had been stolen." Over someone had broken in.
It just wasn't there. So, so I rummaged through the mailbox to see if I could find whoever, like the previous tenants, or any evidence or something. And there was a spider underneath all the mail that was close to my hand for who knows how long. Like a sizable one too.
Then it popped out of the mailbox like a trapdoor spider and grabbed your hand.
Oh. I left one letter in there. I hope it wasn't important. I refused to get the last letter.
Yes, that is the correct answer. And then, of course, the next correct answer would be to burn down the mailbox.
Yes.
Just to make sure.
Since the house was gone, we don't need the mailbox anymore. So
Right. Run over with a car. You don't even have to get out. Just back up and just plow into it.
Now, I've seen a lot of spider horror movies, and anytime you do something like that, they latch onto the back of the car.
And then somehow they make their way inside. Don't understand how.
Talking about Kaiju's new haircut, the footsteps in the sand parable. Where were you when there was only one set of footsteps? I was getting a haircut. Happy freaking Friday, X-Gear Commander. Good to see you. All right. Hobby stuff. Freak.
Hi.
This man's getting into the tournament scene down here. What you got for a pork chop? What kind of hobby goodness you got going on this week?
Well, definitely not doing the tournament scene. I'm like the hill scene. So, I've been doing a little hobbying. So this past Saturday, got to play with my bro. Had an epic, freaking amazing game.
I dropped some pictures of our game into your personal chat if you want to show them.
Yeah, I saw. But before we get into that, I also, for my birthday, I got a really nice brand new FDM printer. Got the Ender 3 Pro. Really nice. I already started working on a couple of little projects here and there. I did a little test print to make sure that the bed and everything was aligned perfectly and make sure that I built it right. You know, that stuff's not building all crossways and upside down crap. And so built it like a little pug. And then the next thing I built was a little I kind of been needing something like this. So I have an Apple Watch, and I needed something to, put it on a stand, instead of just laying it flat somewhere where it kind of latches on to the charger. So I built a stand, and then I sanded it down, cleaned it up, and painted it, and so now it's on my nightstand. So let's see to the stuff. Where'd you put it, Nethos?
Your personal.
My personal.
Yeah, I didn't want to
would be-
get
that
mixed
would
up with
be-
the art of the week and stuff like that.
I should have got some.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yes.
Wargaming picks.
Okay, so before I do, so what?
Yeah, that would be awesome to see pictures of you back on the gaming scene.
Oh hell yeah,
Trying to
that'd
think.
be awesome.
I might have bits and pieces.
Art of the week. Art of the week. This one? Yes. All right, sweet. Okay, so here's a little first actual print. A cute little pug. Ain't it cute? Aww. And then let's see. That little guy, and then okay, I said I needed a I needed that charger holder thingy. So here it is. This is it here. I already painted. I did a boo-boo, but it was okay. It'll hold out. Pretty neat. It actually okay.
So is it the wristband you print? No, the hold or the stand.
Holder, yeah, the stand, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that stand right there.
That's cool.
And so yeah, because you can put the charger or the magnetic charger thingy inside it.
Okay.
And, yeah, so that way, and the neat thing about it is you can see how it's on stand mode there because you can time there.
Nice.
Yeah, it turned out pretty cool. You can see how I painted it, did a little transition, started with a dark and lighten it up. So yeah, that was actually pretty cool. It actually turned out better than I expected. So but yeah, I'm pretty happy. This is the printer now. Those of you who are into FDM printing, that is it. I lock it a
Very
lot.
nice.
Like
I see you got a little transition in there too.
Yeah, man.
Very nice.
I like it a lot all the time. My motto in life.
Sergeant Paul, good day, my friend. Good day.
Oh God.
Goodbye.
Ignore
man.
him too.
Okay. All right, another one stricken from the record. All right. All right, and then so here, yes.
So yes, Commodore. Technically, at this point, it is Art of the Month, but as you can see, the chat is still labeled Art of the
Week. 3 years later. This was the coolest thing I had to fight off. I'm not gonna lie, it was very intimidating seeing this on the board.
Yeah.
Extremely intimidating, but man, this thing put up a fight. But it was awesome. I love how Mythos just put this together, and it's so freaking cool.
I put Bad to the Bone on my phone when I first set it up on the table.
I'm glad I was able to show it to my viewers as well.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate, my brother.
I just don't remember the theme song after I blew it up. I just don't. Didn't remember hearing that one. I will remember you.
It did get like severely bracketed turn 1, turn 2. He blew it up, but it absorbed the majority of his army's firepower. So I was pretty pleased with it.
Crap! Yeah, it did, man.
I played Orcs in 6th edition 40K. And did you guys ever play before? Did you play 6th or 7th?
7th is where we started.
It must have been. It was 6th or 7th because they were very similar. I played Orcs and I had battle wagons.
Oh, bloody hell!
And it was so much fun that they had the toughest possible armor on the front plate. So as long as they were facing the enemy, you couldn't touch them.
Oh yeah, like armor 12, I think.
14 was the highest. It was like 12 on the sides, 14 because the land raider was 14 all around.
That's right. Oh man, you're taking me back.
That's 40K to me. That's how I remember it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Apparently AOS has changed a lot since I got off. Apparently my army's grotesquely overpowered now. So guess I'm going back to AOS. No.
This is horrible.
This is what you get for putting me up against tournament list.
So some suggestions for the bone breaker exploding are great balls of fire and cool guys don't look at explosions.
Right, just walks away from the scene. Yeah.
Man, everybody knows, or lots of people talk about how you've got one of the best looking Imperial fist arms, but when you see them gathered in mass like that, like it really stands out, man. It looks good.
Thanks, man. I remember. So apparently, somebody on the Discord chat actually shared. Let me go to this one real quick so we can see your amazing horde, dude. This was intimidating to me. When I saw all these guys, like, God, I'm like, oh, I don't wanna, no me gusta. So
Actually, good to see you.
Where'd you hide the body, Ashley? Never mind. No. Right, so
we don't want to know.
We don't want to know. Inquiring minds don't want to know. I don't know why they came out of my mouth. Pretend it never happened. I'm not here. All right. So yeah.
Also, just a quick side tangent. Yeah. Ash started a new army this week. She picked up the Drukhari. She allegedly, quote unquote, didn't know that the Drukhari are BDSM elves. So if our brother Greg disappeared and she started a new BDSM fashion, I'm just saying he's probably somewhere handcuffed with the ball gag in his mouth. Somewhere. That poor guy. Somebody needs to let him out.
She says he's still in the truck. Commodore says Greg's still chewing on the rope.
Oh man!
Everybody, we need to root for Greg, right? Just kind of.
Ashley, you're supposed to let him know what the safe word is before you start.
Oh Jesus! Anyway, so yeah, this right here, when Mythos brought this out, I'm like, oh man, okay, I'm about to get my ass whipped. And so this was the one that I saw on the. No, that's not it. Oh, is it? The funniest thing. Oh, it's further down. Okay, we'll get to that one. All right, these are my lovely Hell Blasters. I love my Hell Blasters. There's no safe word. Oh, damn. Sorry, Greg.
I just noticed whenever you back out to the chat, yet again, because I was watching our original stream highlights where I snuck my dog in, you can see him if you back out. He's my profile picture on the Facebook thing.
Oh, nice.
I knew he would sneak in somewhere.
Every time, man. Yeah, every freaking time we wind up seeing the puppers. You know what? We're not mad. BSMness of the
really amazing work on that fur. Very lifelike.
Exactly. A lot of dry brushing.
All right, so let's see here.
He just turned 12.
Aw. All right. Again, Mythos did a great job. And one thing I got to give to Mythos, I got to give a lot of things to Mythos, but I got to give him credit for this one. You'll notice that his entire army is uniform and consistent. All his basing is consistent. Mine, it's all over the hell. Mine's got snow basing. The other one's like in the woods. The other one's in Mars. The one's just no basing at all. It's just plastic. So,
uniform basing is very important to me.
Yeah, I'm like, oh look, look at this big beefy dude,
Rex.
I'm gonna wreck it. Okay.
That's my, for those of you who haven't heard before, that's my war boss, Rex, because he does the wrecking.
He's wrecking Rex, baby. I'm gonna wreck it.
How do you spell that?
WREX, like Mass Effect.
Yep. Okay.
Let's see, it says, freak all of your troops. Spring to your call, no matter their last location. Hey, I like it. You see, I like it. They're coming from all locations. They gotta take terrain with them. I don't know how that works. Hi, I came as soon as I heard. How can I help, sir? Why do you have snow on you? Oh, it was on me. Well, you're still stepping on it. Where'd you come from? The other was like lava. I came as soon as I came, sir. Where the hell did lava come from? Oh God! All right, let's see here. So that's.
Greg is stuck in the Eldarian swing with the 2x4 at the ready.
Oh, jeez.
Ash says there is no safe word. The BDSMness of the Drukhari are too tame for her. That's why she didn't pick up on it right away. Oh, goodness.
So this was the one that I saw that somebody posted on our Discord, and I guess I kind of snuck in there just to see what was going on, and I did that last night or the night before. I died laughing because somebody said something to the effect of, oh God, what was the comment, Mythos? It was funny.
It was Heinrich. Heinrich.
Yes. He said something about, you still kick ass without the head or something. I don't know. I don't remember how
let me pull it up. Tabletop battles. When you are blown away by the amount of weaponry the firstborn can wield compared to the Primaris. He really lost his head over that one.
Yes, exactly.
What crackpot army is this bullshit? Sir, that's all we could assemble on such short notice. Really any notice, sir.
Any notice. Oh, yep. And you know what's crazy, man? I spent so much time getting my look at my Centurions, how good they look. Look amazing. And look at Torgaradon. It's like, I can't even be bothered right now. It just doesn't give a rat's ass anymore. Sir, do you mind screwing your head on, please?
Well, after the full squad of orcs he punched to death before going down, I think he deserves a painted head now.
I do. You're right. I think so because he really tore some serious green ass. Yeah.
We'll get to it. I sent you we'll get to it later because I sent you some pictures, but I'm yet to. One thing I'm really excited for getting back into wargaming is being able to name models after their deeds on the battlefield.
Oh,
yes.
Nice.
I haven't been able to do it yet, but Sergeant Paul, who hopped in earlier, he has just a standard troop with a name and a badge, and I'll explain when we get to the picture. It's so good.
Woo! This is what I saw. I was like, oh.
I hope we have a picture of you, Lieutenant, too, because he earned a special badge of honor.
Oh yeah, man, that lieutenant was just on point, man. I was impressed with him. Look at that, Mando. Yeah, man.
Those were all orc boars. They didn't bring any commandos in this
okay.
list.
All these were boars?
Because I needed the extra heavy slot, so I had to go with the battalion this time. So I needed more troop choices instead of my usual commandos.
And there's the yeet guy right down there. You can see it. Oh man, you know it's funny. Okay, so funny story here. Fun fact. Mythos rolled several times to try to get the yeet, right? Never could do it. And I looked at him because you know what? I'm just the kind of guy. I'm the kind of guy that looks at it. You know what? Do it. See what happens. So I said, Mythos, screw that. Roll again. Because it wouldn't. He rolled. Still no yeet.
The yeet, by the way, he's referring to is the orc holding a rocket. That was my orc boy with rocket launcher. He was just trying to yeet the rocket across the battlefield.
I was trying to, because he would roll and he would not yeet. I'm like, okay, come on, just screw it. Do it again. He looks at me. Mythos like, what are you, stupid, Bill? Like, no, just do it. I want to see if it happens. You know, I want to see what happens.
Is that a 5-up or a 6-up?
It's a 5-up.
Yeah.
Okay.
6 when he moves.
It's like,
it's almost never guaranteed to hit. But
No.
I just think it's funny, you know? It's like, it's good. No, nothing happened. The entire damn game, he didn't yeet. So anyway, I was
when we got to the second game, though, he finally did, and we all cheered.
Oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, he yeeted. That's so stupid.
I just don't have any shooting in my orc army. It's all 5-ups as well.
Oh, look, there's my apothecary. So yeah, I put him together pretty well. He turned out really well. I need
really good, dude.
I need to finish his basing though. A few other little.
And you can see off to the left of the apothecary is the lieutenant.
Yeah.
Who has earned some kind of epic deed. So this guy got the last shot and blew up the bone breaker, and then he turned around to one of the dreadnoughts, got the last shot. And both with his bolter, mind you. It's not like he got in there with a combat weapon or a grenade or a thunderhammer or anything like that. With the bolter, he blew up a dreadnought and a bone breaker in the same game.
Dude, he was on fuego, man.
I was like, I was like, you're gonna shoot that? All right, it's 6 to wound. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot that. I was like, all right.
Man,
Then when he exploded the dreadnought, it actually blew up and damaged the 2 dreadnoughts next to it.
Okay, so the funny part about that is I started running. I started trying to run away. Like, oh, damn. It hurt him. He was in the line of fire. Like, oh, damn, mistakes. Mistakes were made. Hey, you know, it was worth it.
Oh, and the truck, too.
Yeah.
That dude got a lot of last hits.
Yeah. And I freaking Louis did some serious.
He's, on one hand, he's earned a promotion. On the other hand, though, all the troops around him started calling him Captain Killsteel. So
He's a Genji man.
Oh, I love this.
he is a Genji man.
I love this. Look, dumb bomb won't yeet. Boys told me with the daka. Good stuff.
That's awesome.
Let's see what we got there. All right, so yeah, man, it was.
Oh, you know what? I've got our score sheets. Hold on one second.
Oh, good. So there's my Hellblasters, my Centurions here. There's my just everybody here. What did I have? Oh, my aggressors. I had some aggressors here. I think my Redemptor. I had brought 2 Redemptor dreadnoughts. I think they might have gotten killed by now.
So our before this game,
yeah,
Freak and I had been 2-1 with him versus the Orcs. So he had won 2 games against the Orcs, and I had won 1 with the Orcs. And today this game he got his 3rd victory against the Orcs. So scores on the doors. Freak ended the game with 69 points. This is the best game I think he's ever played as far as just like raw points. What? Yes, best number 2. And I had gotten 47. So it was a really, really awesome game. We played a really interesting mission too.
Yeah.
One we had never seen before. So it being Freak's birthday, I just, usually we play match play games. Mm-hmm. And so he was just picking one out of the book, and he didn't realize it was one of the campaign missions at first. And I was like, hell with it. If that's the one that sounds cool to him, it's his birthday, let's go. And it turned out to be a really fun mission that reminded us of the Comet.
Yeah.
It was called Supplies from Above. You put out the objective markers, and then at the beginning of each battle round, you roll 2 dice, and it was basically like the old scatter dice, where low dice to high dice, right. The wind would drift the objectives D3 plus 3 in that direction. There was several times where one of us would get up to the objective, but before we could score it, the wind would blow it away from us. And me in particular, I felt like almost every time I got to the objectives, it would move just out of my aura.
Yeah.
So
you hear Mythos goes, "Ha! I got it." No, I don't.
It reminded me of like when you're a kid and you're trying to get in the car and your parents just keep rolling the car a little further. Like, no, just come on, get in. A little further. All right, seriously, get in this time. And it rolls a little further. God dang it. That's what it reminded you of. Curious, do you guys plan on getting the Warhammer Plus for those exclusive models so you can get both the Orc and the Assassin, or are you both going to pass? I don't know if, I'm probably going to get it just because $5 a month seems pretty doable, and a free Vindicare or Bone Boss both sound really cool, and just the Warhammer animations and the things that I want anyways seem more than worth $5 a month to me, plus being able to get the free stuff on the or the associated stuff on the Warhammer app and all these things I'm going to use anyways. I mean, yeah, it's definitely worth it. But we do plan on covering all that more next week. Yeah. This week is going to be a kind of an art of the month special. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in it.
Yeah, I mean, if I were in strapped for cash and then in the middle of a move here in a little bit, I would definitely jump into that. But right now, it's just everything's really tight. We're now contracted in the house that we just closed on. So, we're closing on. So, It's gonna need a lot of cash.
Brother Oni, what up, baby?
He is. Hey, we're about to cover his game, by the way, because he actually came out and hung out with us. So anyway, this was a really, really fun game. I have to say that this was like a brawl. It wasn't completely one-sided the entire time, especially when it came to the firepower and the attacks and all that. I have to say that his friggin' orcs were a pain in the butt. They were not easy kills.
It really was like a kind of a tide, because you had a really strong start with putting that sheer number of bodies on the objectives, and then also turn one you wiped out most of the Ludas, and you dropped the bone breaker to a pretty bad bracket, and then you blew it up the next turn, and you had a really strong start. But while you were focusing on those, I think once the truck with the war boss and the mega knobs got into the back lines,
right,
there was like a small shift. Freak told me that was his butt pucker moment of the weekend was whenever they all got out, because he said it was like a clown car.
Yes,
a little VW Beetle doesn't look like it's going to fit in that many guys, and it pulls up, and it's just this little. He had shot at it a little bit beforehand, and it's just a little strength 6, with a few wounds, or not strength, toughness 6 vehicle. They're pretty harmless. But then out gets the war boss, the doc, and the 5 mega knobs. Of course, that's where the real damage is. The truck is just the icing on the cake. So.
Oh yeah, that's right, Steve. Yeah, you should have seen my face when they all came out. It's almost like we ever whacked a hornet's nest, and you realize how many hornets are like seriously pouring out of this right now, and all you can think of, I'm about to get my ass kicked. So yeah, it was rough, man. Yeah, I had I been sitting down during the game, I would have built a little volcano in the seat. So it was bad.
Teabaggins, my man. Actually, Brother Freak could answer you better on where Rex came from, because that is my Christmas gift, printed and painted by Brother Freak.
Actually, yeah, I got that print from a good friend of mine. So he stopped painting at that point. Oh God. But yeah, so I got that print from a friend of mine, and I actually loved it, and so I wanted to, print it for Mythos for Christmas, right? And was it Christmas or your birthday?
Christmas,
yeah. And so yeah, I was so impressed how well he turned out. I was like, you know what, it'll be so freaking. So yeah,
and it was.
Yeah, so. Wreck-It Rex, baby.
Yep, I've got Rex, and then I've got the gorgeous war boss from Lady D, both sitting like side by side on the shelf.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I like them. Definitely, yes, it's definitely it's a custom for sure, man. Yeah, I you know what? I want to find him. As a matter of fact, we were just talking about that. I was telling him I want to find a huge hulking DV, kind of almost like as big as Gaz, but without all the armor, kind of like this guy, without a shirt and all that stuff. So just really big and just monstrous, right? And if I can find one like that, like a hulking one, man, that would be fun to get that together. So anyway,
what's up?
Hey,
we got new fellow AdMech player, Gamecraft Dragon in the house.
Oh, so
what up,
he's
BD?
dipping his toe in the AdMech, isn't he?
Dipping his toe in the AdMech.
You might have to find a troll or something and give it a custom orc head.
Yeah, that's just.
It's possible. Although with now that Freak has one of each kind of printer,
yeah,
he's got a wide variety he can choose.
Yes.
So here we've got Karn the Betrayer from Oni's army going against. He had just charged my war boss Rex and the doc. It was a multi-charge, and this was cool. So the Mega Knobs had just smacked the Rhino, which made the Rhino explode. The Rhino had blown up and blew up a whole bunch of stuff on both sides. Damaged the Mega Knobs, damaged the dock, damaged Rex, damaged Karn, and then the Berserkers here. The Berserker at the bottom of the screen there. The previous turn, the Berserkers were screening out Karn, so Rex couldn't get at Karn. So he killed off 4 of the 5 Berserkers, and then Karn in turn, the next turn charged him. This was a really cool battle. So both war bosses or warlords were still smoking from the explosion of the rhino next to them. Karn the Betrayer charges in at Rex and smashes him down to 1 lowly wound. Then, with a roar, Rex grabbed his mighty smasher and pounded into the armor of Karn. Karn managed to duck or deflect most of the blows, but the very last one got through, and with a mighty 3 damage, finished off Karn the Betrayer. And as he was broken upon the ground, Rex hovered over his prey and roared his victory. And then there was the forgotten Berserker that was behind him. And as he roared, the chainsword roared right through the throat, and his screaming stopped. And the sudden silence across the battlefield was heard by all. That was so cool. That one Berserker's got to get a promotion.
So, I'm not gonna lie. I felt like I was listening to an Audible. I'm serious. Could you come over and read me a bedtime story? I mean, it was really good. I'm serious. I was mesmerized. I'm listening to you go on. And I was like, oh my god, this is. At first, I actually had to check because I don't see you guys. All right, I know you can see me, but I can't see you. I've got the screen covered with Of course, I'm streaming here and I'm watching the stream live here, and so I'm like, is he reading? He's reading this. He's got to be reading this. And I look over there, and you were just going on and on. Just wow.
I thought you were reading it first.
Yeah, I thought you were reading it
because you were kind of looking down. So I thought, oh wow.
No, I was just looking at the picture. I've spent so much time looking at that picture this weekend. I've been imagining the battle that happened.
Damn, that's pretty good. Read me a story anytime.
He's going to be champion in the Black Legion Berserker squad. Nice. That's going to be cool. Yeah, that guy definitely deserves it.
The war boss. Good day.
Good day. We got some really, really cool Australians in. In fact, I think we just need in G and Pale Orc now, and we've got Australian party going on.
Got the whole
I'm looking for something big like Gaz, but can you take his shirt off? Don't look at me like that.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing earlier.
And you can't see audience, but don't worry, I did see how uncomfortable Freak looked when he read that.
Have I seen the newest Arto miniatures? I saw the Orc Metal Band. They look pretty awesome. I don't think I've seen their big boys though. I'm gonna have to check that out. Of course, my favorite third-party orcs right at the moment is the stuff I've been getting from Gear Guts. They're just freaking awesome. But yeah, I definitely like Artel's stuff as well. In fact, I think I was going to go with Artel's Commandos before I got the Spellcrow ones. Here this week, I finished up the first 12 of my Stormcast here. And you can kind of see the ones that have been edge highlighted in gray are the ones that Oni painted up. All I had to do was the head swap and the basing. And then the ones kind of up front, the front ranks here, edge highlighted in blue, are the ones that I've painted. I wanted them to match. I just like the way that the Fang looks as an edge highlight to black though. But yeah. So
I like those heads.
Yeah, those are. You got those.
Yeah, I think they really changed the look of the Stormcast because the face helmets just don't sit right with me.
They look a lot bulkier because the head looks almost smaller.
Yes.
Right.
So it really the shoulders look huge.
Very wow looking.
Yeah.
It is.
And I added an orc skull on his base. Nice. See, I love little trophies like that when something happens. In our first gaming group we had at our local Swords and Superheroes. Oh, and then of course, after I finished painting the first 12, I assembled the next box I had, which was 3 Castigators and a Gryph-hound. So
Nice.
I think I have them. I feel like Kaiju sent me those on the spur or built.
Nice.
They're over. People can't see. They are behind me.
I don't like building, but the easy build was such a pleasure.
Be right back, guys.
Right on. Yeah, the easy build was such a pleasure to work with because, like I said, building is not necessarily my forte.
I just hate the gold. I hate the plastic. But once you've primed it, it's not, you can't tell.
Oh yeah. I'll be definitely priming them black, so we'll make all this over bling disappear. Yo, glad to see Mythos's energy coming out. I do miss the storytelling role playing days.
So the new avenue for Frost and Fists.
Before we got into tabletop, man, like it was every weekend, we were doing a role playing game at somebody's house, and we had so many of them. We had a Final Fantasy role playing game we did, of course, some of the classics, but some of our other ones we did were like White Wolf games, which are like vampire and werewolf. And then, of course, we had some based on our favorite books like the Dresden Files. And speaking of, does anybody still go to Swords and Superheroes? They moved recently. They are no longer on that that same strip at North Park. That's now a dance studio. And he told me where they were moving to, but I can't remember. And I haven't checked into it to see where they're at yet. So I don't know.
I need to check out. I know Vampire, the Masquerade, and I think Cyberpunk. They were RPGs before they were RPGs, before they were computer RPGs. But I don't know how they. I've never looked into them.
Well, I definitely recommend checking them out. Seeing this makes me really hate myself for not making it to the local GW shop for that sister coin and mini when I had the cash. Totally understandable. I've missed out on a few that way. And I was just looking up today. I was like, okay, well, how bad is it since I didn't get some of the coins when I had the opportunity? Because, I would like to finish my collection at some point. Man, those coins go for like $50 on eBay if you don't get them while they're, free. Been talking to Daz about maybe doing a vampire game. Nice. Who was it that was talking about doing a Monster Hunter game? Because that sounded cool too. Yeah, they moved X-Gear. I'm not sure where they moved to though, but definitely I recommend looking it up on Google's or something. They might know. Welcome back, my brother.
Thank you. Who moved?
Swords and Superheroes.
Oh, yeah. They bought different buildings. All right, tell me about this one.
Again, these are the two characters that Oni painted up. Again, all I had to do was the basing and varnishing on these. But and of course, I did some weathering with sand pigments and stuff like that to work the base into the model. So you can see like some of the sand and dust building up on like the bottom of the tabards and stuff like that. But yeah, only these two are what made me. I mean, if looking at the I think they're called chambers, whatever the companies or the Stormcast factions are. But yeah, I'm going to refer to them as chapters because I know Space Marines. So before I even looked at any of the chapters, I saw these two characters that Oni had done, and he did such a great job on the characters. I'm like, well, now the entire army's got to stay this color because the characters look so awesome, especially when I looked at the detail that Oni had painted like into the face and into the tabard on this guy. Lily actually asked me last night, is he a cartographer? Because she saw some of the instruments he's got here, and it turns out he is a Lord.
I don't know the name. He's
Ordinary.
He's the ordnance engineer.
Yeah. So yeah, he's like the engineer that works on the ordnance and stuff.
The guy on the left is that's one of the original Stormcast. I never see the old Stormcast models anymore. He's from the original Star Collecting box.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've probably got him buried somewhere.
Yeah, and that's mostly what I have is a lot of the first set, and then I'm also getting the Stormcast half of the Dominion. So I'm going to have the first set and the third set. So it's going to be a little mix of old and new.
Nice.
I've got to strip the old Captain, the hero that came in that box, the mounted one.
Oh yeah, I've
Repaint
got
him.
mine primed. I need to paint him up.
Because I've got mine on the, I've got the magic one on the weird freaky beast that I painted up ages ago.
I don't know why I find that so funny. Those are more liberators.
The dad joke.
Yeah, his bodyguard acts as his coordinator. That was when the starter set came with the corn guys. Yeah, I thought it might be from that first battle box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I can point for you at the, I've got the corn half in my little diorama.
And that's just how they look all together. So that is my starting force, guys. 10 liberators and 2 characters, all ready to go. Kaiju has cats. He counts as a dad now. This I had painted up from last week, but we just did a painting stream last week, so I didn't get a chance to show you guys. But like right before our last game, I finished up my 5 Ludas from Gear Guts.
And lovely heat bloom it is.
Thank you.
Had to get that out there.
Oh man, I think we had trolled him so much on 7 Days to Die that I legitimately was looking at this truck he had built, and in the game, when you build a truck, of course, it already comes, painted and whatever. And I was looking at the model for this truck that he had just built, and I said, I really like the heat bloom on the exhaust of your truck. And I guess because we had trolled him so much, he just immediately went.
Okay, let me backtrack a little bit. Okay, before we did that, I was making him something. I said, yeah, man, let me get you this. I'm gonna make this, blah blah blah. All right, it's in the cooker. I'm good to go. And then he goes, I really like the heat blooms on this truck, on the pipes in this truck. I'm like, I hate you right now. You know what? I'm just gonna stop building this crap. I'm just gonna blow it up. And he goes, no. I really am serious. Okay.
But anyways, heat bloom aside, these Gear Guts miniatures were actually a real big pleasure. Now, there are 2. You'll notice some knob heads on 2 of them, the second from the left and the furthest on the right. So 2 of them, I did end up chopping off their head and replacing them with knob heads. And that was just because on one of them, again, there was it looked like an air bubble or something, kind of a hole right in the middle of his teeth. And it just may have been, I don't know. It may have just been something with the cast, and the barrels came pre-drilled out. Thank you very much. And then another one, the detail was just too soft. Like the details on the nose and the teeth were kind of flush against his face, and it was fine. It just wasn't crisp to my preference. So I went ahead and snipped it off, and these knob heads fit on perfectly. But overall, I really love these thick, beefy orcs that Gear Guts makes. And of course the guns on these look so much cooler than the GW Luda guns. So I mean, these.
Where'd you get those guns?
The whole aside from the 2 that have the knob heads, this whole design is it's called one of the scrap gunner variations from Gear Guts Mech Shop.
All Gear Guts.
Thank you, Brack. Thank you. There's a little close-up of them. Yeah, thick, meaty Ludas. Whew, but man, they sure do die to a stiff breeze. Man, in one round of shooting from Freak's Redemptor Dreadnought, killed all 10 of his Goblin Grot Shield, and killed 3 out of the 5 Ludas. So I ended up spending 2 command points to auto pass them on morale.
Picking up the little guys.
Yeah, whew, they definitely died to a stiff breeze. Here's a truck that Richard over at the Nerd Life is building up for me. So I still had a truck brand new in box from when Brother Daz hooked me up with the orc army, and I ended up sending that to Richard to build so he can send that back, and I'm gonna paint it up. Now, Richard, usually he's our friend that does our big Forge World orders, and we all go in. And typically what'll happen is, if you order more than $200 at the same time, you usually get shipping free, right? So typically we'll all pitch in. I want this, I want this, I want this, and we'll get the free shipping. And he had a spare Forge World upgrade kit for the truck, and went ahead and hooked me up with the extra gubbins for free. So it'll look different than the other one that's built up, pretty much straight out of the box. So it'll be cool. Have a little variation in my army.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
And you'll find something to do with the spare parts.
I mean, as orcs, we always will bolt something to something else.
Exactly.
And this is the Daka Jet that was brand new in box, and I asked him to build it up for me as a burner bomber, because I'm not playing one of the clans of orcs that are particularly good at shooting. But when you drop bombs, all you got to really do is fly over your targets, and I can do that. So I went for the bomber version. There is a pretty nasty tournament tactic where a lot of people will turn one, will fly them into their opponent's line, drop off their bombs, and then spend 2 command points to auto explode it to deal mortal wounds all over their opponent's line. I don't think I'll be doing that because I still want Freak to like me at the end of the game. But it is a neat little tactic that's going around.
There's a really funny tactic that I've almost had the opportunity to use, but I don't know if I ever will, where in Middle-earth strategy battle game, there's 2 scenarios on the game's end. It depends on how many models you have left. So some games might end at halfway, some games end when you hit a quarter, and the ring rates can essentially kill themselves. So they have so many magic points. If they spend all those magic points, they fade away. So if you have all the objectives, you can just, and your whole army's ring rates, you just fade away 3/4 of them and win instantly.
That's kind of awesome.
It's I think it's heavily frowned upon. But I did have a game the other day where I had 2 ring rates and I was about to win, and I didn't really think it through, but I guess I could have done it. I'm not sure.
That actually sounds like an amusing tactic. I'm probably not as amusing if you're on the other end of it, though.
I think I fought against it once, and the guy chose not to do it, and he ended up winning anyway. But
Is that blue splatter from the heat muzzle or from your Ludus blood? I just really like a very vibrant heat bloom because, and this is where I get this phrase from, because I hear Weather Pig talk about it a lot. And I just liked using it as a way to inject a little vibrancy and color into my models. So
which video is it where I referenced the fact that you said that about me? I think it's the one that's coming out after the stream. I can't remember.
No, it's the one that just came out.
Was it? Okay.
Yep.
I did it at the same time.
The chipping.
And I think that comment's referring to the last picture where the desk is covered in blue.
Have a great night, Ash. Good to see you. All right, a couple other things I got for a pork chop. So you guys saw all the stuff that I recently finished. Some stuff I got coming up.
Oh, dang.
Sunday, Lily and the girls gave me this as a gift.
Oh, nice.
So my first Sisters of Battle HQ that'll be painted up. Ephriel Stern and Kaigano, which is pretty cool. And I've got them already primed up and airbrushed their primary armor color. So,
Oh wow!
I actually had even crisper highlights on this, which looked really good. And then I realized that I had lightened it up too far, and the armor was starting to go into pink territory, which is not where I wanted it.
I don't see the problem with that.
which is fine, but I still want it to be Order of the Bloody Rose, you know. Also, I had a dangerous warning from Lily the other day because I mentioned that the main highlight color I use was Daka Red, and I said it's a slightly pinkier version of red, and she's like, "Really? So just because these are girls in armor, you're going to paint them pink?" And I'm like, "No, it's a faction. The Order of the Bloody Rose. It's like a crimson-y." And
I've got to be careful of that. I've got evidence I've got a history of painting things pink, so I've got receipts.
Yeah. You've got receipts for this. You're good.
I picked up something pretty exciting the other day, and I don't know when I'm going to build it because I'm terrified of building it.
Speaking of painting sisters, did you happen to see my message about painting those McFarlane figures? Check my Instagrams right now.
The last big like Gundam style project that is it behind me? I can point at it. That big dark one. That one on the left. Behind the knight. The last time I messed with it, I broke a bit of it. So
Oh no.
I'm terrified of the really complex things, and there's the last podcast I did was with Big D, but he's still here, and I don't know if he remembers. I mentioned a kit from a game that is my absolute dream that I thought would never come to fruition, and before I published the podcast, it was announced. So the first comment on that podcast is from me explaining that it is a thing, and so people don't have to let me know. And I had it pre-ordered this whole time, and then I knew it was due to come out soon, and me and Mads O were at a local store the other week, and we saw it on the shelf, and I was so worried that it's released. Where's my copy? Because I think it's a limited run. So we left. I didn't pick it up because I had it pre-ordered. That night, I get a text saying that the order's cancelled. So the next morning, I rushed down as quick as I could first thing in the morning because they only had one to get it. And apparently, I did get it. And apparently, their biggest model kit, it had been moved since I seen it. It was upside down on the shelf. So someone had picked it up and looked at it. And apparently, their biggest model kit buyer had been in before me and not picked it up. So I was very lucky. It's the flight unit plus 2B from Nier Automata.
Oh, yes. Oh, I can't wait to see you paint that Nier Automata model. It's so cool.
Got the box. It's got some interesting pieces in it.
Oh, yes. I see your comment about soaking them in steaming water for 2 to 4 minutes to loosen the joints, or use a heat gun to help pop off some of the armor joints for easy painting. So that's going to be super helpful.
I don't know what the lighting's like, but that's the box. I'm just going to figure out how to center it. There we go.
That's such a cool model. It's cool because there's a Final Fantasy. I've never played Nier, but there's a Nier crossover with Final Fantasy 14, which is the MMO I play with my friends. And when you're fighting some of the enemies, they've got that same flight suit, and so it's just really cool,
well,
cool to see.
I can't open it. It's got some interesting pieces in it because it comes with a mini the main character,
right?
So, and because these kits are designed so that you don't have to paint them, technically, like it's all colored plastic. I'm going to paint it, but I'm never going to get it to focus because of the webcam. It has a built-in butt piece.
Wow.
So there you go.
That is a very clear butt piece.
She's known for it because I think her butt actually breaks some records of like the number of polygons in it. So they had to include it.
And you know, I don't know exactly about the polygons themselves, but from the 2B cosplayers, I have an idea of how famous that is.
Maybe got back.
It's something. I wonder if it is the record. It's known for how many polygons it has. The game developer himself is very openly, you know.
And honestly, that is honestly what I'm most interested in, is the science of the polygons. This is purely a scientific interest.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't, right?
I googled 2B's arse, and the first thing is a Reddit post that says, "I can't stop thinking about 2B's arse." Here we go. Allegedly, there are more polygons in her ass than there are the rest of her. I don't know if that's true.
The B in 2B stands for booty.
Two booty.
I don't know if it's true, but that's the rumor. I can't find any evidence.
That girl's so thick, she's thick with 2 C's and a Q. All right. So we've shown off. Okay. So I showed you my Afriel stern, right? And I wanted to show you, I got just a boatload of awesome goodies here from our sponsor, Oni Studios, and his amazing printing service. And these are gifts. These are not all things that are available on his store. These are gifts. Okay, but check out this Viking badass here, who I think would be an amazing avatar of the Allfather, or, you know, Russ. I plan on displaying him with like my Thunder Wolves and Fenrisian Wolves around him. It's just like, he definitely seems like an amazing Viking god.
For some
When
reason,
do you make him a statue?
he gives me.
When do you make him a statue? Sorry.
No, I was saying it just reminds me of the Dresden Files. He just kind of reminds me of the Earl King.
Oh yeah.
It gives me that Earl King vibe, you know, like the king of the hunt.
Then I've got some a whole bunch of amazing Final Fantasy goodness that I've already displayed up. I've got Cloud and Tifa and Eris as a gift. Check out this Red 13 as a gift. Such cool stuff. But the other main thing I wanted to show you guys is I have loved the Fox version of X-Men, the animated series, ever since I was a kid. And one of my favorite cameos from that is Cable and the little mini series he was in. So super stoked about that. And there was a mishap with the head, and Freak, with his amazing resin printer, reprinted the head. Now he's a complete hooligan.
Yay! Hey, at least he's got his head. Tor doesn't.
So, yeah, just so much cool stuff. There is a
Oh crap! You're starting stuff, Mythos.
you can see a final stand diorama with that being a sacred relic statue. That's a group of wolves defending from 1,000 suns. That would be fantastic. Yeah, I definitely plan on doing a little display with him. I will take a look at that in just a second. The lovely Psylocke, there, another gift from Brother Oni. So yeah, our sponsor showered us with gifts.
Yeah, very neat.
Rick, you got a couple of gifts too, right?
I do. They're.
I wasn't saying you had to go get them. I just thought, you know.
What were you saying then? What were you saying?
You may want to share with them what you got. Again, yeah, these aren't in the store.
Right.
These were gifts from our brother.
I definitely want to try some like bigger scale figure models. I just don't know. I haven't figured out how to get them in Australia yet. I'll find it.
That's the Frost Giant model. You're Freak, you're getting the Flamer model. And now I'm educated in 2B. I could see a cool. Oh yeah, I already read that one. Freak, your Torgarodon needs a head. He wants you to get up and grab them. No, I wasn't saying that. I was just saying, you know, what cool projects did you get from our amazing sponsor?
Yeah, I don't know what he was saying, Steve. It's just like, you know, he called me out, man. Just like he's calling, you know, the Weather Pig and everybody else.
Oh,
it's
my
like,
goodness.
Oh,
Yeah, he's got a history.
Yeah. Yes, he does, doesn't he? Ooh, who's being messy?
And I've got receipts. It's my least viewed video.
Everybody's like, you cost me views.
and the heat plume fiasco as well. I'm not starting nothing. Y'all are projecting.
Kaiju asked earlier if you drilled out the barrels. I don't know who corrupted Kaiju into that, but I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, he popped that out of nowhere, didn't he?
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. Who could have influenced him in this way?
I know, dude. No clue, man. No idea.
Oh my goodness, Freak! I've got some head for you. It's not the original, but I think you might like it.
Okay, why'd you say got some head? You said some head. It
What?
clearly said,
You said
Freak,
some head.
I've got a head for your tour area.
Right. Yeah, I was
Other job.
paraphrasing. I was paraphrasing.
Oh, it's not the original, but I think you might like it. I have his original head, and
His problem with the original head is that he felt like it looked like the Small Soldiers character.
yeah. So I've got some really cool heads that I can print out. I just haven't done so. I've actually printed a bunch of them for Mythos. I think I printed some for myself too. I'll have to just pull them out. There's some really cool ones, but there's a specific look that I'm kind of looking for. You know, I don't want that crazy, I don't know, film instructor look. Again, I like Torgaradon, but I'm just not crazy about that head. It just looks like it's a constipated version of the protagonist in Doom. You know, guy who's just like. remember the first Doom when it first came out. The Doom 3D.
He expressed all his emotions with his eyebrows.
Yeah, it's like that's what it kind of looks like.
Also, remember that when you go to Brother Oni's shop through our link, you get a special Frost and Fist discount. So definitely keep that in mind. The other thing is that, I agree with you, but for me, it extends on to just more than Torgaradon. Like, even across all three of my Space Marine armies, I very seldom use the GW heads. But even when I do, in that similar small soldier fashion, I avoid like all the guys with the trademark Warhammer bald head with 2 studs or the flat top, just because they look very samey. So, they've got the least amount of character. And so I tend to avoid those heads.
Yeah.
So a lot of my heads are third-party heads if they're not helmeted, or even if they are GW heads, then I try and find one that's got a little, variety to it. A little character to it. But yeah, same. They all look, like Doom Guy, which Doom Guy is not a bad guy to emulate, but All right, so we've looked at a whole bunch of stuff that Freak and I are doing. Now let's show everybody a bunch of weather pig work.
Cool. It has been a while, so I just grabbed whatever pictures. I took some pictures just for you, and then I found some that I had buried away.
Also, since we last spoke, I've started watching another Australian YouTube channel very frequently. Like, I've not only am current on their stuff, but I go back and watch their last 2-year backlog. And so now I don't know if I was able to place necessarily the Australian in your voice before, but I can now, because you sound like some of the guys from Viva La Dirt League.
Okay.
So
my accent's a lot softer. Because my dad doesn't have an Australian accent, so I grew up with a couple accents.
Right on.
People used to be able to hear the Scottish when I was really young in me, like they could tell that's where my family was from, but now they can't. I've gotten a lot more Aussie.
I picture replacing all the heads for an Imperial Fist army with 3D prints of Guile's head from Street Fighter.
That's what he looks like.
Oh, right. New Zealand fellas are where Viva La Dirt League is from. That's right. The next island over.
Okay, so we're doing...
Morning. Nice day for fishing, ain't it? But yes, those New Zealand guys are great. Also, thank you for the kind reminder, Sergeant Paul.
He's got an Australian accent.
You're with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. It's all gravy, baby. Rocking a kilt while roasting shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah, that's me.
I think some of our viewers would pay to see you in a kilt.
I can. I probably fit my dad's. I'm bigger than him, so I could probably put it on. And Paul here is actually he's done. I don't know to what extent, but he's done training to emulate an American accent. He's done American accent training, and he streams on Twitch, and he's got like a point system you get for just watching it, and you can cash it in to make him do his American accent for so long. I've never done it, but the one time he did, I was in Discord with him while I was streaming, and he goes, fuck, and then he mutes himself. Oh, I had to scramble to the stream to hear him do it. And it wasn't that bad, at least from my non-American ears.
Most people who are here that aren't American do an American accent either go far west or straight Valley Girl.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I could see that Commodore, the guy with the super. I need to get one of those superhero landing guys.
Okay, so I'm pulling art of the week.
I've been told I sound like Clinton. Nice. I heard the wolves are howling last night.
Oh my, there's so much.
Weather Pig stuff is actually in the chat with the three of us.
Okay, let's do this.
I tried to order them. That's why I sent them all as individual messages instead of one big one.
I do the same with Art of the Week. I'm like, these go together, send that. These go together, send that.
I've got, the first bunch are all minis, and then I've got some wargaming stuff at the bottom. And I've got some exclusive sneak peeks to upcoming stuff.
Nice. Got to brush up on a lot of voices and accents for my upcoming VA gig and D&D campaign. Nice.
Oh, wow. And Paul is one of the he's one of the members of the potential new channel.
That'll be cool. I've heard you guys play tanks, I don't want to say before. So it'd be cool to see some battle reports with y'all together. So this is the Riptide.
No longer with me. It belongs to the brother of the other guy who's part of the other team for the other channel.
So you think you'll see it in any upcoming battle reports?
No, it's his brother's.
Oh,
and none of us. I don't think I could probably scramble together a 40k army with bits and pieces. I don't know. At the moment, we all just play Middle Earth.
Okay, it's just going to be one game system.
At least for now. It's
Right.
named after it. But no, I really miss this Riptide. I'm so happy with it.
I have to say, I'm not a fan of Tau, but I really like your Riptide. Tell us a little bit about it.
Very clean.
For me, it was just the airbrushing is the bit I'm most proud of. I always point to the thighs for no particular reason, but
Okay.
because of how jagged they are, you can see the shadows on the.
Oh, right. I was going somewhere else.
But I just got out the airbrush and mucked around with it. I didn't have anything particular in mind. I just kept going until it looked good and then left it.
Yeah. Really
Roxa says he loves the copper. Very nice.
That was actually I wasn't sure what I was going to do there because I don't use metallic paints a lot, but the original, the actual owner of it, when he gave it to me, it was there's not many polygons in those thighs. And there's like 4 polygons in the Riptide's arse. I checked. The original owner had a very rudimentary paint scheme on it. He wanted me to start from scratch, and he actually had the bronze on it. I don't know. I doubt it was the same paint, but that's a Games Workshop paint. It's
Is that Balthasar?
dwarf, no, dwarven or something like that. No, brass scorpion.
Oh, Brass Scorpion.
With a Tamiya oil panel liner over the top of it. Oil?
Very nice.
The Tamiya panel liners. And this is one of the ones where I did a gloss varnish over it before I panel lined it. So the panel line's a lot cleaner. And I edge highlighted everything that isn't white, which is something I usually don't do. But it was for someone who paints in a more traditional Warhammer scheme. So I wanted to at least blend in with these other stuff a little bit.
Very cool.
And it's not magnetized. It's the shield and gun just sit on with friction, which is weird.
It looks really good, man.
Really sharp work, man.
The decals I'm super happy with. They're the ones that came with it. You can only see one in this picture. There's one on his shoulder that I don't know where they're supposed to go. I didn't look. I just put them where I wanted to put them. I think the little one on the shield is probably, I think there's meant to be a bigger one. It's so big that I had to cut a letter off to fit it onto the shoulder. So I'm hoping you can't still translate Tau language. I know you could back when I played. I'm hoping you can't, and I'm hoping the client doesn't. I
was going to say, it's probably still feasible, but I doubt anyone ever will.
The old codex had a key in it to translate. I remember. So I have no idea what it says on the shoulder.
Great work, bro.
No, I'm really happy with that one. He's got a Riptide, the same guy, and I'm waiting for him to give up and give it to me. But we'll see. He probably. I want him to paint it because he's a beginner, so Riptide's going to learn a lot from that. But I'm just saying that if
you cutting off one letter, Commodore says, "What the hell is an IPTide?"
It just says greater good on it. The greater good.
It just says Raider good, and people are like, "What the hell?" So this is a Gundam from Iron Blooded Orphan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about it. I'm still watching Iron Blooded Orphan right now.
Oh, okay. So have you seen this one?
I have.
Okay, so you're getting close to the end of the first season. Have you seen this exact one? Because you first see it in a different form.
No, I've only seen the other form.
The space one.
Yep.
So this is what it looks like when it's customized for land. That's the thing that really sucks me into Gundam is how real a lot of it is in a way, which is why I get disappointed when some of it's really fictitious. But IBO is one of the most like the grounded ones, no pun intended.
Except for the Centaur and space bit.
Oh, but the Centaur is the ground one, not the space ones. So it makes sense that you would have to customize the Gundams for land and space. So even when the main one comes to Earth, they calibrate its feet just to function with gravity. So this is the Earth, the ground-based one. So no, I love it so much. It's my favorite character from IBO is the pilot of this one, Galileo Baudouin. I actually remember his name, which is weird. I don't usually
the last episode I finished, I just landed on Earth.
Yep. Okay. I remember and that's it transformed.
Nice.
I took that picture today because I didn't have a transform one to show you. So that's why the lighting's different.
That looks so good.
It comes with that stain too. It's weird how I painted this one with the building up the colors on top of grays and browns. But no, I love the Chimaras. I actually really hate the one that you've seen. I hate the Space Chimaras. I really don't like it. But I love the Chimaras Trooper is what this one is.
Interesting.
It's just like how industrial it is. It really fits the IBO, but it's still got that kind of royal head crest because I think it's a family heirloom. This one. Grand Combat Gumbo Battles are my favorites. I'm with you. Yeah. And you get to see this one do a few fights. I did this one so long ago that I actually forgot if I made a video on it. I don't. Did I make a video on this one?
You're kidding, right? This is the big diorama piece that you did for. Yeah, this is the one that you did with the oil washes and whatnot,
it's
right?
literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6 videos ago. That's how spaced out my videos are at them.
I know I've watched this. Because you were mentioning that the one thing you lament is that you made the diorama to be viewed from one angle.
Yeah. So that was advice given by so I don't know, I guess I can say his name because he always puts my name on things that I don't want my name on. The local store owner for Throw the Dice is the name of the store. We might be filming there on the new channel. We'll see. He's currently moving. He's renovating into a bigger store, which is very exciting. And it's the one that exactly. It's the one that
I listened to that podcast too, where he was telling you how to make an oil wash. And
that's the one where I announced that's the one where I said I really wanted this near kit and that I thought it would never exist. So yeah, it was put into a competition at Throw the Dice for dioramas. It was it just had to have sprue incorporated into it, and there was a size limit, which I hit the size limit. So, and they had a professional painter come in, and she mentioned that the square base implies that there's a intended viewing angle, and at least she correctly identified the intended view angle, which is this one. But the problem is the sword on the knight in the top left was broken, and I couldn't bend it back into place. So I gave up and I snapped it off. And the blade it's not visible from this angle. It's fallen through the woodwork and landed behind that wall. So she reckoned that because that's kind of integral to the story, that he's had the sword snapped off, you can't see it from the intended viewing angle. So she reckoned a circular base would have made more sense, which is very interesting. So I don't know what would be better, if I put it on a circular base or if I didn't snap off the sword, because the sword was literally a last minute addition. It wasn't intended.
Triangle. There it is. You're welcome.
I had never considered the shape of a diorama before you went into that discussion. So
no,
that was
neither did I. It wasn't my point. It was. I'll take the compliment, but it wasn't my idea.
Yes, that's exactly my intention.
I intentionally did the wrong base size to draw attention to it.
T Baggins wants to know if those wooden planks are rounded or flat.
Both. So they are either Warhammer sprues, which are like what do you call that shape? Is that a rhombus? The Warhammer kind of cross section. Yeah. All right. The kind of the tethered.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're either Warhammer sprues or they're Gundam / tank sprues, which are usually more circular. So it's a combination of both. And that's a lot. Big D had a big shout out to Big D for this one. The oil wash was his idea. The kind of glossy ground was his idea. The string, I actually did exactly what he told me to do, which was get embroidery floss and dull it down. The string was his idea. A lot of this was he had a big part in.
Big D is a serious terrain maker, man. He's got my respect when it comes to that.
The moment I had this idea, I knew that I had to get Big D on the podcast to talk about it. And I've done a few oil washes since, and I plan to do more. So I'm so happy you introduced me to that.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Anybody that really wants to learn to do terrain or builds like this, I'm telling you, go check out his channel. You will not go wrong. He's got some really cool stuff that he teach and he loves to teach. It's just really cool about it. Good stuff, man.
But no, that's my Dark Souls diorama.
It's like I have a channel about it.
I need to paint more of the Dark Souls because I actually have 2 boxes. I have 2 of the Dark Souls board game, and one for dioramas, one for painting. So I've got a picture of another Dark Souls one here. I'm finally getting back to it.
Gamecraft Dragon has such an incredible terrain building resource on this channel. It's so good. My one thing I wish that I could see on such a great terrain making channel is if you had like some kind of like imperial bunker with the functioning gate or something like that. That would be really cool to see on a terrain making channel. I think that's a great idea though. I think like if he could make something like that, I think it'd be valuable to all imperial players everywhere.
Phoenix, that's actually a very good point. We Mythos actually had turned me on to one particular person about trash terrain. He was a YouTuber, and honestly, when he started becoming toxic, I decided, you know what, not gonna watch it. But honestly, it looks like D kind of took over that baton. He's the one who who did that. So I love it, man. Who else better than him? So really cool.
If in all seriousness, Deed has incredible terrain on this channel, and very similar to your Dark Souls diorama. We'll see he did some wooden Warcry terrain, and kind of, I'm not out of sprue, but kind of, same inspiration except with actual wood. It was really cool looking. Dude, these Mordor pics are super cool.
These aren't painted, the two ring wraiths.
Right.
So
but
the first
I
one,
love some ring wraiths.
The first one was the Witch King on a horse. This one's Kamul on Fell Beast. You can't really tell it's him because because Games Workshop made up his design.
Wow, way to stir the pot, Mythos. Once again.
What?
Again.
Jeez. It's like the clap, the gift to keep on giving. Yes, I was able to fit in a clap reference in there finally in a while.
So we were talking before the stream that in terms of canon, the ring wraiths, only 2 of them actually linger on the ring wraiths for a bit longer. So only 2 of them are noted, which is the Witch King and Kamul. The rest of them don't have names. So Games Workshop actually made up names for the rest of them and stories and things. And I actually got the Witch King comes with the Fell Beast and Kamul comes on a horse. So I've actually head swapped those 2 ring wraiths, which I'm really happy with because I've never done that before. I did it with Mop, who you will meet on the second channel. And he just looked over at me, like plying the Kamul's head off with pliers. He was so scared. But I figured it out in the end.
Oh man.
And I'm really happy. So I've got the fighty guy on the dragon thing and the spellcaster on the horse because he doesn't really need the dragon thing.
Was that the inspiration for the head swap to make the fighty and the? Okay.
Because it's I would need to explain a lot about the game. Essentially, the Witch King's a fantastic fighter, but the dragon doesn't do that much for him. Whereas the dragon it's not actually a dragon, I'm just going to say dragon. The Fell Beast makes up for a lot of Kamul's downsides.
Okay.
This is my main leader. He's a little crooked, I'm seeing now. But that's Gothmog, Lieutenant of Sauron. He and a couple of I put the wolves in for Mythos, even though they're more like hyenas, I guess, but they're meant to be wolves. And he's really interesting, Gothmog. He's a very expensive leader points wise. He's an all right fighter. He's not fantastic, but something I really love about the Middle Earth game is that the leaders actually lead. They're not just powerhouses like at least they used to be in Warhammer. I know there's a lot more leadership now because you've got points you spend and cards and things, but I very rarely get him into fights. He just sits there and leads. Yes, and he also has a crooked arm. So he can do a lot of things. He hates men with a fiery passion. He hates humans more than anyone. So him and anyone close to him gets bonuses against humans, which is absolutely devastating. I love it so much. And he has like the most. So in the Lord of the Rings game, heroes have finite resources. They got might, fate, and will, which they spend on, and it's like very rarely can you get it back, with a few exceptions that I don't want to talk about. But so might is for like commands, will is for magic and resisting magic, and fate is they're named characters. They're not just going to die in one hit kind of thing. So you've got to be very careful in how you spend the resources. So he has the maximum command resources you can have, unless you're a very, very special character who can piss off. But what he can do is, if anyone does a command within 6 inches of him, he can copy that command for absolute free.
Nice.
So if he's against a line with Aragorn behind it, and Aragorn says, and I have the first move, I've got the priority in that turn, but Aragorn really wants the move, he can use his commands to have all his men move first, but he has to spend that resource. Well, Aragorn doesn't. So bad example. but Gothmog can copy it for free, which is really fun. I've noticed people never do commands next to him. I literally put him in front of a commander and they will just keep their mouth shut because they're afraid of me getting free commands.
That's always like strategically a good game to play, is playing in your opponent's head, because like just by having a certain character here or model there, it affects their decision making.
Mm-hmm. And he can do a few other things. And there's a once a game, everyone around him gets to reroll all wounds for a phase, which is pretty crazy. It's never helped me, but it will one day. And there's a thing, they're called legendary legions in Middle Earth, where it restricts the way you can build the army, but it gives you extra buffs. So Gothmog has his own kind of sub list. So you have to take orcs, and you can't take, he can't take cavalry, which is weird because they are orcs. But you can't take any humans, you can't take anything else. And it buffs Gothmog immensely because it's his legion. So all his abilities get a massive range, which is crazy.
That's awesome. I like how you even injected some of your trademark pink color into with the tufts and stuff here. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like them. Can you see it? You can just see on the left dog, there's a blade of grass holding his leg up, and you can see I've tried to paint it pink and yellow to try and match it. When my mates saw it, they're like, what's coming out of his foot?
It's his lipstick. What?
Talking about playing the game in your opponent's head and making your decisions affect their decisions. X-Gear Commander. So his favorite combination of Space Marines to play is usually Blood Angels with a single group of Legion of the Damned, and their ability to appear anywhere on the board does that same thing, because when people know that he's got this unit that can appear anywhere on the board, it affects their decision making and movement making, which makes sense. You don't want to leave your backline open if you're expecting visitors.
That's the thing about Kumul on the Feldbeast. It's cavalry only move 10 inches in Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Only flying models move 12. So just having Kumul there is just, their army's going to stick together. They can't have any stragglers because they know Kumul's just going to hunt them down.
It makes sense. You got a sub from T-Baggins.
I saw that. I wanted to thank them, but I didn't know how to pronounce the name. So thank you.
All right.
Yeah, that's my dogs. I've got a bunch more, but I bought too many. Yeah, you don't really use that much cavalry in Lord of the Rings. Well, you do, but Mordor, I guess not so much.
Nonsense. If you have the option to take Warg cavalry,
I really like them. I love the war cavalry. They never go off by themselves. They always hang out with the army, and they charge around the back of people.
Nice.
And I love it so much. So this is another thing I really like about Lord of the Rings. There's kind of sub heroes. So none of these are actually technically 2 of these are heroes. So the guy in the middle is a banner bearer. Most models can become banner bearers. So he's just a normal Morannon orc, which are the Gothmog's orcs, the heavily armored orcs. I think they're in the book, they're not. I don't know. But he's up here to have a banner, and it's hard to explain what the banner does. So in Warhammer, from memory, it's when 2 units collide, they all roll to hit each other. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So in Lord of the Rings, there are no units. They're actually individual models. You move everyone individually.
Oh, wow.
Which is really fun. It doesn't get that overwhelming because there's not as many models in a game. Usually my armies have 30 to 40 models, but that's a lot because I play Mordor. So instead of rolling to hit each other, when 2 models collide, and you can have spears behind them helping, which is always fun, they roll against each other, and only one of them wins.
Oh, okay.
And the banner lets you re-roll your dual roll. So it's crazy. It's only 3 inches, but it's such a good investment.
I got to say, I love those highlights on your banner. Really
I know.
pops.
I'm really happy with that. I love it so much. It's 4 or 5 layers, I think that is.
Believe it or not, I think that might be the best banner I've ever seen you paint.
Have I painted any other banners?
No.
I was going to say. The guy on the left is a shaman. So he just has a couple spells. He can shut people down for a turn, but he's very bad at that spell. Mainly, he can make people around him fearless, which is very useful for orcs.
Very nice.
And the guy on the left is a drummer. He's crazy. everyone within 12 inches of him, he can elect to beat his drum, and if he does, everyone gets 50% more movement speed around him. But they can't charge. They can't charge in the same turn he drums. So one of my favorite tactics is drumming right in the face of the enemy. If I've got priority, like if I'm moving first, and I just drum around them, and then they charge me, because there's no charge bonuses in Lord of the Rings unless you're cavalry. So there's no harm in me drumming and getting in better position, letting him charge me. If he have horses, I'm not going to do it. But
yeah. Okay, so you force them to charge you, and then you usually beat them off with superior strength.
Yeah, with a lot of numbers.
Okay, nice. T Baggins really wants to get some Lord of the Rings terrain, especially Rohan stuff, to use as a Space Wolf encampment for Fenrisian and Guard.
There is. You can get Games Workshop have Rohirrim terrain, and I think we might be making some soon. But that was mentioned at some point. Here's another fun thing that I don't think is in Warhammer. You can actually get dismounted off your mounts. It's pretty easy actually to get dismounted. So I've got Gothmog on foot in case he's knocked off his warg. So you can either kill the warg, or if something big hits him, like my dragon thing charges him, he instantly gets knocked off.
Oh wow.
And
that's
you
cool
lose.
That there's rules for both ways.
There is, and cavalry are great. It's when you charge, you get, not only do you get +1 attack, like I think does Warhammer still do that? But
some factions.
Okay. But if you win the fight, you knock over the enemy, and you roll 2 dice per attack instead of 1, because they're on the ground.
That's really cool.
Dismounting, certain things will dismount you. Like if the horse dies, you're dismounted. If a monster charges you, you're dismounted. But you do roll to see if they land on their feet or if they fall over. And with Warg, and this is only for Warg, if he's knocked off but the Warg isn't killed, or if Gothmog is killed off the back of the Warg does a courage check, and if it passes, it actually stays on the board. That's just a dog by itself.
Nice.
Which horses can't do.
I'm sorry for teasing about the Imperial Gate, D. I'm just
No, he's not. Don't let him off the hook.
You know we love you.
Don't take any crap, D.
It's interesting that you mentioned Skyrim terrain, D, because one of my mates is looking at getting some Skyrim models.
Those are
so I'll definitely, if you do, I'll have to send him your way.
The last time we had Zach from Faith and Damnation on the channel, he was painting up a character, the Skyrim main character, and man, it was so cool. Yeah.
Never coming.
Oh man.
So yeah, that's my main leader.
Very cool.
Named after one of the original Balrogs.
Oh wow.
So this isn't the whole army, it's most of it.
D says that gate.
Why are you censoring yourself here? You've sworn on my channel, D. You didn't know you were on my channel when you swore, but what video is that? I gotta find that. There's a video where I forget why, but I was recording something and I had Big D's stream on. And in the middle of recording, I'm like, I'm recording this while Big D's streaming. And I turned it off and he just says, I don't know, am I allowed to swear on your live stream?
No F.
Oh, I was about to say, yeah, we just stay away from anything F-bomb or worse.
So I turned it up and he just insults the viewer as I'm holding the phone up to the camera.
Sure.
That's funny.
So this is what I've got painted so far, except Kamal up there, because I had to reprime him when I cut his head off.
That makes sense.
But yeah, so these are only my heavy armored orcs. I've since gotten some normal orcs, and I'm working on them in the background.
So I guess the what are they called? Urukai?
These are just these aren't Urukai. They're just orcs with better equipment, essentially, or better trained. The
Um,
Moranin orcs.
T Baggins wants to know if the Urukai are too small or thin to use with the new Sigmar orcs, which is interesting because a lot of, and I don't know if you've seen any of the new stuff, but they are coming out with a new faction called the Cruel Boys, and a lot of people have been comparing them to the way that is far from what GW has always said orcs are, and a lot of people say they're more Tolkien-esque.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't know. I've seen like the gangly like AOS ones that are really like tall and weird, but they do look cool. But the everything in it's the same scale, Monsieur Paul, but it's Lord of the Rings is a lot less. I don't want to say this again because I got in trouble last time I said this. I want to say Lord of the Rings is a lot less stylized. They're very like the proportions are very realistic. So a lot of Lord of the Rings models are gonna look small next to a Warhammer model, especially orcs.
Right, because all the Warhammer stuff is heroic scale.
Yeah. So the Urukai are actually pretty small. They're like tall, but they're not very beefy at all.
Gotcha.
But they're pretty cool.
Well, dude, it's a great looking force so far, and I can't wait to see, how everything else gets painted up.
Thank you. So finally, I've actually painted another Dark Souls model. It took me a while. So this is a gargoyle from Dark Souls 1, the first boss that I hate with a passion. Because when he gets to half health, he summons a friend who is I think he's the same, or maybe slightly weaker. But I think I've been killed by this boss more than any other. But I'm like now I don't have any problem. Yeah, you can cut off you can't see it in this picture, but he's got a weapon on his tail that you can cut off and use. But I don't have trouble with this anymore. But yeah, I used to really hate the gargoyle. So he's interesting. The channel hasn't seen him yet. It's the whole thing was painted up in that kind of rusted copper effect.
Uh-huh.
So I built up the greens using the airbrush and dry brushing, and then I dry brushed on the bronze. And then I've done a few oil washes, but I've only oil washed the areas that aren't armor. So this picture you can't see it that well, but you can see like the shield and the helmet and the armor on the wings is different to the rest of him, which I'm really happy with.
Roxa says, now I want to cast some Bloodborne bosses. There are actually Bloodborne miniatures out there for a Bloodborne game. I'm not sure which bosses there are models of, but yeah, definitely a lot of the hunters and some of the monsters and bosses have models. So they do exist for the Roxas.
So there's his tail that you can cut off and use as a weapon.
Nice. It looks like a chain axe.
It does. I'm pretty sure when you get the weapon, it looks nothing like that. And
I love
is
your pink Carnosaur.
Here's the video that I'm going to premiere right after this live stream. Yeah, that looks so good. I'm really happy with him. It took me forever to make this video. I finished him like probably a couple months ago now.
All right, so I really love the transition, like on the thighs, where it's that darker pink into some of the more frontal areas, like the shoulder, elbows, with the much lighter pink. Is that airbrush work?
I'm glad you can see that the elbows are different because I forgot I did that because it's been a while. Yes, it's all airbrush, and I talk about it in the video. I actually did it wrong at first, but so the plan was to transition it from a pinkish red to a reddish pink. That was the plan. But I added way too much of the last layer. So the transition was like maybe the first 20%, and then it was all the same color. So I ended up lightening up the pink using the same white that's on his belly, on his throat. And that's why the top of it's a lot brighter, because I needed to add another layer to have like a smoother transition.
It looks fantastic.
I'm really happy with him.
I really love the pop that airbrush work is. And I know airbrush highlights are not the style that everybody likes, but I think it's my favorite style of highlighting. So
this one's a weird one. So I need to make a video on this one. It's very, it's weird to see 40K models on my channel, but this is, what is he? He's a Dark Eldar. I forget his name. He's a Dark Eldar named hero.
Okay.
So this was another competition held by Throw the Dice, where the results came out and me and my mates didn't win any of the prizes, but that's fine. So it was a trash to treasure type competition. So the owner, Richard, just bought a bunch of crap off eBay and gave it to us. Like it was $10 entry. We got lucky dip, and I got one of the few non-Lord of the Rings models. But so the base was already done. It was all built. He was missing his from our angle. His left hand and other left hand. He was missing both of his left hands. So I added, that's an AdMech finger that I added on, the pointing one, and the knife up top. Oh, that's it. I'll remember that. Thank you. And the knife is one of the IDICBeer knives, which is a nice little throwback to how I got back into Warhammer. So he's all monocolor, all painted one color. I've got a gradient with the airbrush from the bright bottom all the way up to the top.
I like that.
It's meant to look like the tentacles are glowing. It's meant to be Lovecraftian. That was kind of the theme.
Okay.
So the tentacles are glowing and lighting him up, and I've got like the syringe and all the pipes and things are glowing a bit more, and his eyes and mouth are glowing.
Very cool.
So I don't know. It took me like only a few hours. It wasn't much effort at all, but I like the kind of monocolor theme I got going on.
I think that's a pretty interesting challenge for an artist to put themselves through as a monochromatic kind of scheme. Is how much visual interest can you add with a monochromatic scheme? And you've done well. It was,
like I've got a green wash, or is it a blue wash? That was a running joke on my channel for a bit. I washed some bits down. There is actually just black paint on there. That's his name, Rakarth.
Thank you, D.
And yeah, this is an interesting photo. So this was the start of a 3v3 we did, and that jumper behind, that's actually Mop, one of the hosts of the new channel. And he was playing my army in this game. We switched armies.
Jumper, you mean sweater, right? Like
I don't know.
You're referring to his top, his shirt or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We don't have the word jumper over here, so I had to like, translate it in my head. So you're saying the person in the shirt back there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I might be getting it wrong. I'm not sure. But yeah, he was playing my army. I forget who won that. I feel like Paul won this game. So Paul was playing... Oh no, Paul was playing his own army. That's why he won. But I played Mop's elves and he played my orcs. Oh, Mop won. No, never mind. Oh, he won with my army. There you go. So I won. And I think the next picture is just the same. This was just the initial setup. We all set up in the corners and just had at each other.
From that first picture, I just want to say Freak talks all about how his favorite thing about doing highlights is making sure it still pops from 3 feet away when it's on the table. Yeah. Your banner really does that. And it just made me think of what Freak always says about highlights is it still going to pop when you put it 3 feet away? Mm-hmm. Your banner definitely jumps out at you. I like that.
Thank you. Now this one is a lot to take in. This was an event at Throw the Dice. It was a 4v4 match, Lord of the Rings. It was, how many points was it? I feel like it was 1,000. No, I feel like it was 2,000 points aside. I feel like we had 500 points each. So it was 4 evil armies versus 4 good armies. So I'm not really represented in this picture, which is fine. You can see my orcs at the bottom there. I really didn't do anything this game. So the good was defending those walls. We were attacking. I'm on evil, and both my mates were on good. I kind of walked up and locked down the left flank. I kind of stood there and said, look, you're not getting out of that castle. And then there's actually 2. I think the other one's dead at this point. We had 2 giant elephants, 2 Mumak, just walk in the gate and kill everyone. It was completely devastating. They kill models in the movement phase, like as they move over them. They trample.
Oh, wow. It looks intimidating.
They just walked in, devastated anything. I literally stood there and watched. I think Paul sent some guys to fight me, but at that point it was too late. We had already won. I just watched. And I don't know if he's in that picture, but I mentioned earlier, no, he's not. He's dead at this point. I mentioned earlier that Paul has a named model. So with the elephant, they move and do wounds until they fail to kill someone, and then they stop.
Oh god!
And the elephant walked in the gate. He knocked down the gate. He started killing elves, humans, just started slaughtering everyone. And Paul stopped him with a single Gondor soldier.
Nice.
One Gondor soldier just stood there and went,
promote that.
No. So I don't know if Paul can let us know. I don't know if we've named him yet. We had some very interesting name theories, but Paul's put like a symbol on his shield from the culture that elephant comes from, so we know which one he is.
That's awesome.
I'm waiting to name one of my orcs. I'll get there.
Yeah, Freak, you got to come up with a name for that lieutenant that blew up 3 vehicles with a single bolter.
Figure something.
But yeah, that's what I've been working on.
Awesome.
Not
Lots
a
of
lot
good stuff.
painting time. I wish I could paint more at the moment, but I might get back into it.
Well, dude, you've painted up some brilliant stuff since you were last on, and dude, it's awesome to see you gaming again.
Yeah. Good that you're back in it, man.
We might film tomorrow. It's very up in the air at the moment, so we'll see.
The Mumak Stopper. What's the right way to say that?
Mumak.
Okay, Mumak Stopper. Nice.
Mumak.
Brother Archer.
We had so much crazy stuff in that game. We had the Mumak Stopper. We had, I think one of the hobbits stopped the Mumak at one point. I'm pretty sure as well. No, what was it? One of the hobbits used his, like, the finite resources that heroes have. One of the hobbits used his resources to boost his men around him into winning against the Mumak in combat, which is very hard to do. And Kumul, the guy that I've got on the Fell Beast, one of my teammates had Kumul on Fell Beast. He was in that picture. And Treebeard threw a rock at him. The rock hit Kumul and killed him in one go. Because the ring rates only have 1 wound, but they have defense 8, and they're really, it's hard to wound them, but you only need 1 wound. And yeah, Treebeard just sniped him with a rock.
Yay!
I'm waiting for that to happen to me. Hasn't happened to me yet.
Gamecraft Dragon D says that's like my Blight Lord that shrugged off an entire shooting phrase from a Drukari army. His name is Steve. Damn it, Steve. Oh my god. Can you imagine just throwing all of your DACA against one Terminator and just not being able to do it? Oh my god, that was like your last Centurion. I fired like 2 rounds of 3 dreads into this one Centurion, and I was like, okay, do it again. 5 upper dead. Made it.
Oh, that's something else that happened in that game. In that game with the Mumak, we had the store owner, Richard, charged it with like his whole army of ghosts, and I forget how many dice he rolled. Paul might remember. He was using Mops dice, which are notoriously bad. Whenever I want a roll to be low, I steal Mops dice and use them. His whole ghost army it was something like 23 attacks. His whole ghost army didn't wound the elephant once.
Oh no.
And then I said to him, like, do it again. I said, roll him again. He rolled it again, didn't get a single 6 again.
Wow.
So he rolled over 40 dice, didn't get 1 6. That's how bad Mops dice are. So when there's ever a draw, one army is elected good and one's evil. So I'm usually evil because I'm Mordor. So on 1, 2, 3, I win. On a 4, 5, 6, good wins. So whenever I need to roll a duel, I always get Mops dice because I need bad rolls. And he always rolls his tree like ent dice, and he always gets a 6.
I would say that's like some of your rolling, but Freak, somebody's luck turned around this weekend.
Yeah. So okay, I was about to say this. So Mythos, for my birthday, just very nice. He gave me some peasants, not peasants to grovel. But anyway, so I'm opening up the bag, and sure enough, there's these amazing, lovely yellow dice. I'm like, dice, I like dice. And so I think he got tired of, seeing my dice that I took from my Farkle game. And so he's like, here. They were all beautiful yellow Imperial Fist dice. I was like, yes. So I just popped them out right then and there, man. And those guys were rolling hot the whole night. Me and Steve were like, oh man, I can imagine. Meath was like, I made a mistake getting those. Like, I was afraid of walking away from the table. And Meath would just grab the dice real quick, put them back in the box, run to GW, take them back to the store. Hey, can I get a refund on this? They're defective.
And these ones are proper. He had some 7th edition Imperial Fist dice at one point. but they were all the Imperial Fist logo on the ones.
On the ones.
Which makes you disappointed to see your own logo, you know?
Yeah, like, oh great.
But these ones were done. These were done properly, where you see your logo, you succeed.
It was pretty fun.
I will be right back.
Right on. And we saw a lot of Imperial Fist logos that day.
Yeah. There were times I'm thinking, oh man, I was hiding my. No, I'll keep these. These are mine. I'll keep these mythos. They're okay. They're not hurting anyone.
D said he shrugged off. Just Steve shrugged off shots from 3 raiders, 3 squads of Kabalites, and a squad of bikes, either involed or DR'd it, which is I think the feel no pain save.
Hey man, that's freaking epic, man. That's kind of like freaking Torgaradon was. Oh God, did you see? I did
so many wounds.
Do you not have that picture of him being surrounded by all those orcs?
I didn't have that one. That one was taken on your phone. I don't have that picture.
Let me see if I can throw that on there. That one was just freaking epic as hell.
My yellow precious.
Did I send it to you or no?
I don't think so.
I just grabbed the pic. Look here.
Glad you stole his look, like we talked about.
God. Yeah. You know. Oh, got it. Oh my God. Okay. Woo. All right, I'm gonna send it right now.
Teabag, it says, my named original character Marine in my first narrative event was in combat with the Plague Marine and a Bloodthirster. You had a Marine in combat with a Bloodthirster? And I somehow survived with 2 hit points and took both down over 9 turns.
Jesus.
That's awesome.
Okay, here it comes.
All right, I'm gonna save this picture because it's an epic picture.
All right, here it is. The headless Torgaradon. He's surrounded by all these guys. Man,
the whole time Oni was cracking jokes about Torgaradon just swinging blindly because he had no head. Right. And he's just surrounded by thick loads of orcs, so it's like he can see, but the orcs are just so thick around him he can swing anywhere and still hit more orcs. So the full squad, when it made the charge, was 17 plus the boss snob. So he ended up taking them down to the boss in 1 orc. Yeah. Like just Torgaradon. He tanked so many attacks.
Yeah, he absorbed a lot of attacks. And finally they got him down. Finally they took him down, you know. Like, and he really earned his head this time. He definitely earned his head. So I think this weekend I'm actually, do a little hobbying, and I may do that. I may just
put his face on.
Put his face on. Poor Torgaradon. Yeah. I got to do him right, man. Yeah, there he was, man. Oh man, he pummeled some greenskin, dude. Or some greenskin ass.
I thought because he's mostly an anti-vehicle guy as far as his combat capacity.
Yeah.
I thought surrounding him with a big horde would keep him tied up for the rest of the game, but man, he really wiped them out to almost wiped him out to a man.
Yeah.
Marcos, good evening, my brother. Pirate Queen Pickle, all the way from across the pond. Good morning, my friend.
Hey. Yep, really cool stuff, man.
Smash his head in, boys. Boss, he don't have a head to smash.
Hey, what head? I don't see one anywhere around him.
My rolls were only good because I kept praying to the Allfather, Rusted Odin. I was dressed up in my cosplay furs, and the looks I were getting were worth that win. Nice. That's awesome. Welcome back, Weather Pig.
Huh?
All right. So we have a whole month of art that people have submitted over the last 4 weeks or so. So how would you guys like to look at some epic art as we finish off the stream?
Brush burning goodness.
Brush burning goodness. I mean, Weather Pig here has already made me burn my brushes 3 times.
Except this week. We will do the answer to this week. Let's see, what was the last one you sent in there, Mike?
Let me take a look where it starts.
Yes.
Let's see.
Oh my
There
goodness.
is
I'm still
a
scrolling.
bunch of grumpy goodness. It starts with the Imperial Fist from Commodore.
Oh, yeah. Commodore. Okay, I see it. That would be...
Who's changed his name over the... It was like a month ago, but it still blows my mind. He is no longer the Nightly Gamer. He's now the Commodore of Dorn if you search him on Instagram.
I like it, man. I can imagine, Dorn, an amazing, leader, playing video games on a Commodore 64. Pew, 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 pew. Okay, so imagine this is it.
Kaiju's gonna burn his brushes to keep him warm. It is pretty cold today.
Oh my gosh. I can't fathom that. I mean, it was just...
Oh, yeah.
Ugh, so hot.
It is pretty bold of me. It's very bold of me to assume that the weather for me here is the same as it is for Kaiju, because he's not that far away, but you just cannot trust the weather in where we live.
Oh, that's just like
it could
here.
be. He could tell me it was 40 degrees and a storm for him right now, and I'd believe him.
Oh man.
I'd be a little shocked, but I'd believe him.
Nerd.
Phoenix says Dorn playing on the Commodore 64 with the greatest of 8-bit graphics.
That was my first computer, by the way. I
That was mine too.
love that thing. Oh, I love that thing. I had, those big old 5 1/4 floppy disk containers, man. Oh man, it was just full. And of course, I notched the other side to make them double-sided. I had games I pirated for days, man. Oh.
Yeah, I had some great ones for the Commodore 64, like G.I. Joe, Transformers, a Western one I can't remember the name of, and then in the hidden false compartment of the storage, the disk storage, I found my dad's floppy disk labeled sex games.
I still remember. I don't remember floppy disks. I think that's a little. Oh, I remember my dad working with them, but I don't remember them myself. But I still remember cassettes and VHSs, which a lot of people don't anymore.
Now, because you are so much younger than us, I mean, slightly younger than us, are the floppy disks that you remember, are they the little hard ones or the big wobbly ones?
Wow.
The hard ones.
See,
wow,
I knew that was gonna
we
be
are talking about floppy disks right now, right? This just sounds like we're talking about.
I wondered why they were called floppy disks.
Yeah, no.
I remember having.
Yeah, here, look, I'm gonna give you the.
Yeah, please.
Here.
I remember having cassette players in cars and having the old Lord of the Rings movies and the old Star Wars movies on VHS.
Yes.
I could probably go find the VHS.
5.5. Yeah, I said 5 1/4. It's 3 1/4, 5. Oh yeah, it's 5 1/4. I was right. So yeah, these were the floppy disks. These were the old floppy disk, and I had this huge. It looked like a Rolodex. I did it. Okay, back this here. But yeah, this was the floppy disk, and I'm not gonna. That thing.
It's almost 11 p.m. and still 88 degrees out. Yep.
Yeah,
that's Texas.
Yeah, so that's what it is. A 5 1/4 floppy disk, and yeah. So the Commodore 64, of course, we'd had the separate external floppy drive, and yeah. So these are the ones you probably remember, the 3.5. So, the kid knows what a Rolodex is.
Yeah, you tried to explain it to him as you had a Rolodex full of floppy disks, like he knows.
Sorry.
Oh my God. Next thing you'll be like telling him, well, yeah, I used to load it in the front like an 8-track.
Here it is, man. Mythos brings memories, bro.
Wait, people here are in Texas. Freak and I are in the Houston area.
Y'all?
And yeah, there are other members of the chat closer to the Dallas area.
Oh yeah, Colin is from, because we were talking.
Yeah, our brother Richard, who does almost all of our my assembly work is from the Dallas area.
I know where Colin's from because he knows an awful lot about the goings on in Melbourne for some reason. He's just like, have you seen this thing in Melbourne? Oh, okay. He's trying to convince me to buy some certain models that are very expensive in Australia, but I want to get my hands on them eventually.
Colin's near San Antonio. Awesome. We should get together sometime, man.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I still follow them.
So this is more comic goodness. And by the way, I need to bring to everyone's attention that he done the good deed. Cut off those stupid iron sights.
Oh, forgot about that. And he's drilled the barrels. Calm down.
Settle down now. Settle down. He's done it. He's okay. He'll pass.
Damn fine job with that barrel and the rest of the paint job as well.
Yeah.
Also, he's gone around and started applying the transfers, freak, and the decals I think really make those Imperial fists shine.
Yeah, I know. I suck at decals. I really do. I'm terrible. I just need to invest and get the real good stuff.
So these are some Iron Warriors, the eternal chaos rivals of the Imperial fists. Painted by Grumpy Guy Gaming. Here's some artwork from his channel where he painted up some Iron Warriors.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, here you go. Or Grumpy Guy Game goodness.
That is some nice weathered, beaten iron
dude.
look. It looks great.
I love Iron Warriors. I trust him to do really good masking because I've seen his masking before.
Absolutely. I love like the the contrast, there we go, between like the really weathered and beaten metal, but the really crisp hazard stripes.
Yeah.
I've heard vinegar helps soften decals if you don't want to buy
I do use that.
You know what? That's what I should have done for his birthday, is actually gotten him some Microsol and Microset.
Yeah, I have used that. Not Microsoft, but the vinegar to soften them up, and I don't know.
I just have a little Tamiya thing.
I've gotten him the Tamiya stuff before. He didn't really seem to like the Tamiya. I should get him the actual Microsol.
I wouldn't mind trying something different.
Go for some.
Love the highlights on that red cape. Again, really pops.
Gorgeous, man.
It pops, but again, still looks dirty from that weathering. Like it's like well highlighted, but doesn't look clean.
I wonder how he made the deeper red. Is that just a paint, or is there purple in there? Is there black in there?
In my knowledge, he hands paints everything, man. He's yeah, look at that. That's pretty intense.
Freak hasn't mentioned
get him some vinegar to go with his salt.
Freak didn't chose not to mention what he's standing on, and he switched it to an angle where we can't see it.
Nope, I ain't saying shit. Nope, it's just a figure.
Really nice, nicely painted helmets on top of the spikes too.
Get the hell up!
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, moving right along.
Now, I was just mentioning that I appreciate the artwork put into that, Freak.
I'm not talking to you.
What are their dreadnought? Hellbrutes. Nice Hellbrute there.
That's amazing.
I reckon that's a custom arm. I don't think it.
No, they come with tentacles.
No, the other one, the autocannon.
Oh, the autocannon?
That looks a bit different. I think that's. I don't know. I might be wrong. But...
Gorgeous, man.
Yeah, as much as I know about Chaos, you're probably right.
Yeah. Hey, dude, it's a freaking monster.
Actually, is that? I wonder if that's the box one or if that's the. I feel like that's the starter kit one, isn't it?
It might be.
Okay.
I don't know.
Big D says that's the Forge World autocannon.
Okay.
Love this, man. This is
very cool.
Okay,
It's
I
not,
just
okay.
yeah, we goof a lot, but you know what? Grumpy is amazing. He's an amazing painter. He kills it, man. He freaking kills it.
with both volume and
Yeah,
painting skill.
yeah, absolutely, man.
There's something worked into the concrete there that the Hellbrood is standing on. Really pops in that concrete. You can't tell. It's like covered by whatever that.
Can you zoom in on that so we can?
All right, that's the show. Woo! That was a great show, you guys.
Good morning, Gary, my friend. Can't stop just on my way to work. I'll watch this later tonight when I get home. Well, thank you for stopping by, my friend.
Oh, it is. That is the Starter Kit one. He's right.
Amazing.
You know, I think this kit still holds up. I like the pose. Like he's about to take that big arm and just rip somebody's face off.
It all looks amazing to me because a lot of the Lord of the Rings models are still pretty
A lot
old.
of comments about people who really appreciate the scenic base there.
I hate you all.
I love the Hell. What are they? Hell.
Those are Forge Fiends?
Forge Fiends. That's it. I was gonna say Hell Fiend.
Some Titan units here.
Mm-hmm. Is that? Oh my god.
From Adeptus Titanicus, the mini Titan game.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It almost looks like the full size one.
It really does. It threw me away too. It threw me off.
If the base was a bit thinner,
Right.
you could have convinced me it was a bigger one.
Yeah, this is amazing, man.
Bloody hell.
Jeez. This is Grumpy also?
Yeah, all this is Grumpy.
Ah, dog it, man.
Subscribe to Grumpy Guy Gaming. Yeah, oh man, this is like the new biggest Titan that they do for Titanicus 2. It looks awesome. Could you put on your best orc voice and for Marcos here, give him a wah?
Wah! That just sounded like I'm just drowning. Sorry. This is as good as I can do.
Gamecraft Dragon says if that was the full-size Titan, the base alone would be about 3 inches thick. How do we send in pictures here, and what are the criteria?
Oh,
we
good
take
question.
art from anybody. Anybody who's proud enough to share their hobby with us.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's good or bad. We're all in different. We're all in different levels.
Oh, so. Colin's great though. If you send it to me, Colin, I'll message it straight to him.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Absolutely.
And then also
because we need to show off Colin's stuff.
I know you are on the Discord, so I will also send you an invite to. Oh, actually, I'll put it here in the chat. An invite to our Discord, so you can share with us in the future if you like.
Very nice.
Oh well, if it's up to you, Colin. If you can hop in their Discord, that's easier.
Well, I can't monitor the Discord and do the chat at the same time. So, but for the future, yes. But for tonight, sending it to you would probably be
all right.
easier.
Yeah. Well, whatever works. If you put it in the general of my Discord or direct message it to me, whatever works. I'll see it wherever you put it.
These things are painted as if they were the full size, man.
Right? And I know you who love the Hawkshroud Knights would love, even though this isn't necessarily Hawkshroud, I know you would love my fellow Yellow Knight.
I love that, man. I love the color yellow, yeah.
That is not an Asian joke.
Oh my god. Gorgeous,
man,
gorgeous,
have some great games tomorrow. Good luck with your admech.
Hey, man.
I do this every time. Really, really sharp looking Yellow Knights.
Yeah, I love it. Very, man.
Oh wow, they did the like upgraded knights.
There is the Discord, the link to our Discord for the future. You can always submit art of the week there. And some people submit their own work, my friends. Some people submit just stuff that inspires them on Instagram or Facebook. And often when they send us stuff that inspires them, they'll say, "Yep, this made me burn my brushes today."
They want to share the suffering.
Misery loves company, baby.
Oh yeah.
That is a tiny Reaver. Reaver Titan. You know, I'm listening to Master of Mankind right now, and one of the featured Titans in that book is a Reaver Titan. So it's good to see, you know, actually something you were reading about.
I love the Reavers.
And some people just want to watch your brushes burn. Once I finally finish my tower, I will send you a pic. Nice.
There's a unit in Lord of the Rings that is just the giant tower from The Hobbit with Azog on top of it.
Oh wow.
You get the full tower. It comes with a bunch of buffs and like 7 commanders or something silly.
That's crazy.
I might be able to, there's no model, you have to make it yourself. I might be seeing one soon.
They still have a kit bash your own or build your own version of a model. That's cool.
I think it's more that they don't want to produce it. Forge World might, but there's not a lot of support for Lord of the Rings, so it's very slow.
I mean, in a way, that's good because, you know, like all the stuff that they're focusing on now, they tend to take away rules for things that don't have a model.
Yeah, exactly. And the rules don't change an awful lot in Lord of the Rings. There's not as much creep. So you can be pretty secure in your knowledge for a fair while.
What are we looking at, Mitos?
So this is more from Grumpy. This is his Titanicus terrain that he built. And I love the way that the rust comes through the paint job. You know, like there's the wear and tear. Awesome. Thank you, Marcos. Once I finish my tower, I'll send you a pic. Sweet. That's another guy who really nails work terrain is Marcos. I love the shading. Again, that definitely looks like airbrush shading in like the recesses of the tower there.
Why does this remind me of Stormwind?
That does remind me of Stormwind. I love the color scheme on that. I don't think I greeted Big Mech when he came to the chat. Hello, Big Mech. Dan Skull did some streaming yesterday for him with Let's Make It Orky and her charity stream. Doing some great work. Painting up an Imperial Space Marine, which I painted once for my very first commission. I got
the pictures, Colin. I'm sending them now.
Nice. Again, love that airbrush shading on the buildings there. Like you can tell where it's, you know, it's like sun rays are coming down where there's like obvious streams going across the model of better lit areas and some shadowy areas. It's like you can see the sunlight streaking. Man, can you imagine playing the game on Grumpy's board?
I wouldn't play it. I'd be sitting there watching the whole thing like, whoa, this is amazing. Very nice. Later.
And forward it over to Art of the Week. Really, really brilliant terrain work by Grumpy. Again, the shading on these buildings just looks incredible. And there's just enough green in the windows and stuff like that to give it pop, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like it doesn't detract from like the urban kind of setting, you know? It still looks like urban buildings. But the color pop definitely stands out. Finally, I've been waiting for Senpai to notice me. Well, you heard the man, freak. Address the man. Notice him, Senpai. give him that special freak voice.
Oh, that like because he drives a Big Mac.
There you go. I'd imagine I'd be looking at an incredibly detailed, ultra realistic urban painting with AdMech drawn into with crayons and tomato sauce. Oh man, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Your AdMech are beautifully painted. Oh, but man, so I've come a long way in my painting journey. My first Space Wolves army, I don't know if I could play that on Grumpy's table. You're like, I thought you were going to play Space Wolves today. No, I'm playing my White Scar. You pull out one of my better painted armies. I love my Space Wolves, but my first paint jobs were not fantastic.
Hey, they were fantastic for the time, man.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Honestly,
everybody's got a journey. That's where I was at the time.
Right. That is just gorgeous. Okay, so the reminds me of a little cathedral.
Don't those look like Stormwind?
Yes, I'm telling you.
Really good.
Yeah, Lily says they look like Stormwind Towers too.
They remind me like this one in not Goldshire. Where's the smaller one right next to Stormwind?
That's Goldshire.
It is Goldshire, yeah. See, man.
The only unrealistic thing about that is my AdMech have no red.
Very, very off old tomato sauce.
Oh man.
Okay. See, that is just epic sauce. I'm watching Stormwind right there.
Yes,
freaking
babe, come back.
Stormwind. This is Stormwind.
This is all of those.
I need to hear.
towers put
I'm
together.
hearing the Stormwind theme song right now.
Like it looks like you're in Stormwind
wow.
there.
Yeah. Wow, this looks really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see the
like
mage.
that-
I
that
see
looks
the
so
mage
close.
tower right there. There's the mage tower.
That looks so close that
Man.
WoW might send out a cease and desist.
Right. Holy man.
Say hi to Lily for me. We haven't
Hang
spoken
on
in a while.
Griffin models by strings and have them flying overhead, then maybe. But
Weather Pig says hi.
hey there.
Dang, this is so cool. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Fantastic board. Like, I mean, I like our board, but like, there is no like pieces of scenery on his board. It's like this is legit a city, and you're
Mm.
walking.
Eventually, we'll be able to do this. This very, very soon, hopefully.
Yeah. I just that's what because we always think about what goes on the board for like the game, right? We need to start like looking at some of this stuff, like what little pieces and
Right.
things flesh out the details of
What's neat is that remember Chief Lot Gaming actually gave us some amazing terrain that we could use,
Oh, yeah.
especially with all the gazillion. That's what I'll probably work on. All that's pipes, man.
Yep.
So much
Yep.
cool stuff, man.
Yep. We got some more stuff we can work on from Chief
Yeah.
5 Gaming, and I've got a few more MDF pieces here,
Yeah,
but I've
man.
got something really special on its way. I can't quite talk about yet, but there's something coming at some point. It's really going to take our table to the next level. But yeah, this board is definitely like fully immersive. I'm walking through a city. I don't think I've ever played on a table this detailed.
Did he make this board?
Yeah. This is all Grumpy, man.
They freak hell. There's how long it took.
I mean, this
What
is
kind
the
of
guy
materials
who
did he make?
holds down a full-time job and somehow manages to paint armies, in an afternoon. Like, I still can't wait for the Elfstination Grumpy Guy Gaming head-to-head.
Hell yeah. That's the 1v1 right there, man. That's gonna be
Can we
know
handle
what?
that?
the amazing. That's gonna be serious. A cage match.
Oh my God. You know what we should do?
Want to host it?
We should get together with some of our other 3D printing gurus and start designing a golden cup for the Elfstination
Oh.
Grumpy Guy head-to-head and
I
send it
can
to
do that. I can print that. Print it, paint it up, and just straight from the Frost and Fist. Hell to the yeah.
Yeah, we should send them a golden cup. Look at that tiny Xiphon Interceptor.
Get that.
Will you paint it metallic or non-metallic?
it's us. We've never done that.
No. I tried. It looked like crap.
it would be too hard, and I wouldn't be able to do it on a big thing like that.
I think once I did it with like the Aquila on a Space Marine's gun and his chest inspired by one of your videos, and then like I never touched it again.
This would be so much fun to play with that Knight Armies. That what was it?
Titanicus.
Titanicus. God, that would be so much fun to do it on there. Oh man, dude, this is. Goodness.
Who can finish painting the army in front of you in the allocated time? You have until I finish the sentence.
Yeah,
Marco says
Grumpy
buy some
did it from
Retributor
work.
gold spray.
Grumpy finished it from work.
We're going to be using little cardboard terrain at first. You can actually, it's behind me. I know I'm not on screen, but we've got little cardboard buildings, and maybe one day we'll upgrade to, we'll make some stuff.
Yeah, we've got a mix of some cardboard buildings. We've got some MDF terrain, and we've got some 3D printed stuff. So we've got a variety. There's a reason I use Rune Lord brass.
If I don't know if Paul's still here, is there anywhere you'd suggest he have a look for terrain printing? Because he's got a printer.
Terrain printing. There's lots of cool stuff on Thingiverse.
Yes.
And then of course there are all kinds of like Patreons and things like that for people who they literally their entire business on Patreon is just creating STLs, and then they make them available for their members. So
is Steve still on? Steve?
Yeah, if Odie's here,
God.
he has a Discord full of people with those kinds of Patreons. But yeah, check out this Emperor.
Jeez, Pete. So
the face alone.
Oh, it's so intense, dude.
Oh wow. I love the red tones in the gold.
The red tones are definitely good, and it helps break up just solid chunks of metal.
Yeah.
You know, I was listening to Shameless Paint last night, and you know, same kind of idea. Like, if I have lots of areas of the same colored metal, I want to add some kind of deviation. You know, something to make it different. And that's one of the things I always thought about Custodes and the Emperor. You know, somebody entombed or even Dorn, somebody entombed entirely in gold. How do you make that stand out? And this person has injected so much color with the red or kind of the purple grayish color in the shadows, you know, and they've definitely added tons of variation all over this armor.
Look at the damn sword. This is by Emidon. This is amazing. I'm going to take on knitting now. I'm going to be picking up crocheting.
It's interesting because usually gold draws your eye, right? But because gold is kind of becomes the background color here, that's the shine in that silvery sword, like just leaps out at you. That is a phenomenal Emperor.
This is what I imagined. Looks like straight from the book, man.
This is how I seriously imagine him. In my fantasies, though, he looks like that one femme emperor that we saw on Art of the Week before. Yeah, that's how I imagine. Yeah. We still need to get the STL file for that.
Oh my God.
I'd believe you if you told me those statues were actually carved out of the stone.
Right?
They might, honestly, looking at the base, they might actually be real statues. I don't know. The base looks... I think the base actually is real.
Face.
The face is incredible. There are so many colors for this skin that it's incredible. Like, I'm not going to try and BS and say anything about, like, you know, hey, it looks like they used this or did this. Or
no, I don't
know nothing about this. This is just damn good.
No.
I don't know art, but damn, this is cool.
The intensity. That is way light years away. Right.
Everyone's
All right.
unsubscribing right now.
I must say, I hope everyone's nice and toasty with their
With their bonfires in your living
with their
room.
bonfires of brushes.
By Grim Wolves VI. Right.
Uh,
Oh my.
and what army do you play, Freak?
I think it's VII or no?
The VII Legion?
VII Legion, yeah.
What was salamanders? Are they XVII? I forget. I did know.
Let's find out.
I feel like they're 18. I think the salamanders are 18, which would be XVII.
Lenny Crafted.
You are correct. XVIII.
Oh wow, that is so weird.
That looks like an actual shell you might see on the ocean.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude, freaking cheese still. Lee, man.
I'm sure this is phenomenal paint job. I'm positive it is. However, can you imagine how much you could just like, you know, if you were a beach goer, if you found like an amazing shell like this and you just put it on your model just to throw everybody off. Look at this amazing shell you painted. But seriously though, this is incredible. They've got that pattern looks so real and natural. That's a fine snailian. Good night, Kami. Have a great night, brother. Got to call it a night, guys. Early morning for me, but I'll be dreaming of burning my brushes. Well, please don't start any fires in your sleep. I don't know if you sleepwalk or anything.
He sleepwalks, his bedroom's all lit up.
What pattern's that on the ground there, Freak?
What?
What pattern's that on the ground?
What pattern?
Yeah.
On the ground?
Yeah. What faction uses that pattern?
I don't get it. I mean,
oh, the hazard stripes are usually iconic of the Iron Warriors, your rivals.
Oh yeah, screw this guy.
Dude, I still can't get over that shell. I think this is one of those cases where like actually the faces and the skin on this Gene Stealer thing are painted up really incredibly well.
Mm.
But
this
you don't notice it because the shell is so amazing.
Shell, it almost looks like it's been made. I could be freaking wrong. I'm okay to be wrong.
You know, what's funny is it looks so real. I have to look it up now. I have to go back to that post.
Yeah.
Just to make sure it's not like in the description or anything. Like,
right.
By the way, guys, this is a real shell. I didn't do
Yeah, I'm looking through.
It looks that good.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it that it's real.
Lenny Crafted.
All right, what we got here?
You know you've made it as an artist if people question what's real and what's painted.
Mm.
These kind of look like.
Oh, it's is this that they're that's a Gundam thing?
Yep, these are aggressors that have been Gundam themed.
What are they called?
Gundamized.
I don't know. I forget what they are. It's they're all from the antagonist faction from Xeon.
Okay. Well, this solves it, guys. I'm gonna send this. This is the work in progress when it's not even painted. So yeah, no, this is all this person's art.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I know they're not Zaku, but I don't know what they are. Are they?
Oh, I meant the shell on the last guy.
Oh, so he did make that, didn't he?
Are they goofs?
Did you post it?
Yeah, I just sent it. So yeah, that's straight up art.
Oh, yeah, it's not good.
From straight up blank canvas, and that looks like modeling clay. Yeah, that looks like clay. Not even 3D printed or anything. That's sculpted.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Wow.
we're done viewing his stuff because my inferiority complex is already.
Holy crap. Man, actually that and the Emperor back to back. That's
too much for me.
We'll go play a video game after this.
Right? I can't even. All right. Who's done this one? This is.
It's on one of the pictures. Really, really beautiful work on this.
Amazing on the top.
Oh, yeah.
Slap me in the face. Thank you very much. Call me soon. Hey. You know what it looks like, Mythos? What's that app that you use for
Prism?
Yes.
Something?
Yeah, Prism. Yeah, this is exactly what it looks like. Yeah, it's real. It's
I think it's the next picture that has her name.
There it is.
Phenomenal work, though.
The Cami Zarzeski top. Cami, yeah. Camille Zarzecki. Okay. Camille Zarzecki, you need to stop. You're just showing off and we don't appreciate it. Okay? You do amazing work.
We really do appreciate it, actually.
we feel like you're now flaunting it in our face and just rubbing it all over our face like just a piece of meat. And yeah, I don't take feel comfortable. All right, moving on. Beautiful work. Hate you. The hell? My husband upset me this morning, and now I'm inflicting it on all on you.
I included this because of our gorgeous Australian guest here. So, Drow elves, they live in a place called the Underdark. They're exiled from the surface. Australians, they live in a place called Down Under. They are exiled by the English, and both have dangerous creatures, including big spiders.
Sure.
Conclusions? Drow have Australian accents.
And I think that's it was a Gelgoog. I looked it up as well. That the Australian character, I'm pretty sure that's the guy from Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Hey,
I've seen this.
It's like he's coming to life, or
So this is like if they had like digital stealth armor,
that is
and they were unstealthing.
sick.
Oh, and it's a salamander, I think.
Yeah, like a salamander scout. That's what it looks like.
It is. Hell yeah.
That's phenomenal. Zack Attack, you got it, man. This I thought was the coolest kit bash.
Marsh Malador.
So, you know, my big thing with regular box dreads is that they have stubby legs, right? They don't have like the full knee articulation kind of deal. And this was like a great cross between a Redemptor and the box dread. And it really gives it like a sci-fi post-apocalyptic kind of look. And this person just really doesn't like Blood Angels, apparently. Hey, Kaiser, my man.
Gorgeous.
Modeling for Advantage. Oh, I haven't gone back to comment yet earlier. I love your battle report earlier. Oh my goodness. That was I don't want to give anything away. But so without giving it away, when you looked at Johnny B deadpan and said, I'm gonna shoot it with my bazooka. I cracked up laughing, and Lily was asking me what I was laughing about, and I had to explain it to her. It was that was my favorite part.
Oh no. This is one of my favorite models ever.
Look at this model. It's so good.
I love Neferado.
Oh,
I
my
love the way that red pops. It's just so damn good. And a lot of the ghosty stuff is done in the soft pastel blue or green, but this is a rich, saturated red, and I really just love the vibrancy here. And red and black always go well together, but the black is a very color absorbing black. I'm not sure what's the right artistic scientific word. I'm not a light scientist. But the red is really vibrant in contrast to like how dark that black is. If that makes any sense. It pops so well.
By Minis for War.
Oh, they magnetized it. That's the other one of the other guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I forget which is that.
I love
Is that Manfred? I don't know.
Damn it, Manfred. The only Manfred freaking I know is on this How to Win a Golden Demon video. And the instructor in the How to Win a Golden Demon video, he's got a servant named Manfred.
Yeah, like his assistant. His whole assistant. He's sabotaging everything for him. Oh.
Really brilliant work.
Sergio Calvo Miniatures.
This is amazing.
It's
Again,
this, Romeo and Juliet vibes right here, bro.
This straight up just looks like a piece of art that you would hang on your wall. Again, this is one of those things when your mini painting is so good, you could sell pictures of your art as posters. Like I would hang this up in a game room, no problem. I'd hang it up in my living room. This one I think was sent to me by the lovely Phoenix.
And he's for war again. This guy. Look, but lovely heat bloom.
Yes, lovely heat bloom.
And
the way that they've painted the flames is encouraging us.
To
burn
our own
brushes.
crap. Yeah. This is by the way a Harley Davidson.
Colin says it's a Guy Fieri mech.
Oh my gosh. Bring the next one tonight. Grab it.
Right on. I love the flame work, of course, the obvious. I love the heat bloom, but also like the little details, like the glowing blue on the lights here and the glowing green, the glowing blue on like the cables, the glowing green on the lights. Just little details that make it just stand out extra. Also, I love this the way they've done the Mechanicum. I've tried doing Mechanicum logos in the half white, half black pattern. I can never make it work. It never looks good when I do that.
It's going to be hard to put them side by side.
Yeah. It's hard also, I think, I don't know. And maybe I just need more practice at it, but yeah, just the side by side black white logo, always hard for me to pull off and make look good. Of course, that was before I spent like a year painting white scars. So now that I'm more practiced at painting white, maybe I can make it work.
I really like your white painting, your airbrushing.
I appreciate that. So looking at these flames on here, and I know you're all about trying new techniques and things like that in your painting. Do you have any plans on doing anything with your airbrush, like perhaps doing not decals, what's the word, stencils, or using it to do any of the really complex patterns, that you see in some people's painting.
I
For
could.
instance,
Mhm.
I was just saying, like, the flames on this have such a nice uniform shape. It makes me think, stencil.
Yeah. I was thinking how they do that. No, I've never thought of using stencils. I'll have to. I wonder if I do have an Imperial Knight to paint.
Yes, you do.
Lot of surface area on that one.
So you think this is stenciled?
Yeah, I think that's an airbrush stencil. Just the flames are kind of like they've got a uniform kind of look to them.
Yeah. It's very. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think these were airbrushed on their own. It could be the stickers rather. No, those are stickers. Those were.
Yeah, they fade. That one in the middle fades out.
Yeah. Yeah.
House of Colors has a flame stencil that really matches with those flames. I've used it before on my model cars. Nice. Well, there we go. I've been wanting to try stencil. I actually haven't done any airbrush stenciling. I've masked areas for simple designs like, racing stripes and stuff like that. But I've never tried a stencil. That's one thing I want to try in the future. Man, look at all that non-metallic work on that gold and the silver.
Oh.
Again, stuff like this, it looks like it belongs to me in a museum. Yeah.
DT Studio Miniatures.
Brilliant work.
Plug. You.
This Tyrannosaurus Rex / Hydra Cerberus thing just looks amazing.
Oh, it's even got feathers.
Yeah, it different concept. I've seen this concept of what could have been the Tyrannosaurus. Or
I love the
golly.
double rows of teeth like a shark too. It's really interesting.
Am I? Incredible.
Oh man.
That's creepy.
This would be really awesome to paint. Well, it would be until you saw this guy's version.
No.
And then you realize you'd never live up to that.
Nope. I'd burn the model. Nope. Yeah.
Sir, we'd like to offer you this free model to paint up, but what are you doing?
Slagging it. Yep. So it's now a puddle of resin. This would be an amazing movie piece.
Right? Dun, 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 dun. Weather Pig, that was a movie that came out a long time ago called Jurassic Park.
Wow.
Probably.
Oh, he's on a roll, isn't he? Good Lord. Oh, God.
Pirate Sophie.
Yeah.
Very nice. So Reaper does these model. It's like their main poster character called Sophie, and they offer her a bunch of different themes and poses and stuff like that. This is gorgeous. I love the color blend on the wings.
Borderlands. This is such a Borderlands look right here. Borderlands.
I also love the way the color transition in the wings are kind of incorporated into the non-metallic reflection of the sword.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And of course, this is one of those situations. The sword and the wings are so breathtaking. Like, you almost don't notice how well the face is painted. Phenomenal work. Absolutely phenomenal.
By a Stratagas Wargamers.
Yes. That was the Virtual ReaperCon Special Edition. I want to get a second one to paint with and without wings. Oh, that would be cool. This person has been cranking out some amazing white scars over the last few weeks, and oh my gosh, their suppressor just looks so cool. I need to paint up my suppressors.
Is that an upside down walk?
That is no freaking.
Oh, I'm hungry.
Very cool model. I love the glow in the cable and the barrel there. Really cool work.
But wait,
and they've done a repulsor. I don't know if it's lazy. I never actually put a little gunner dude coming out of the hatch on any of my tanks. Like, I don't know why. I just prefer the look without some dude riding on top. I want suppressors.
My Predator one. No, not my Predator. It was on my my Rhino.
On your Rhino, the guy operating the Stormbolter.
Yeah.
I want the suppressor so bad.
The first one that gets hit, you know.
Right. I think that's why I don't like the look. Is just that this is one guy out there all vulnerable when everybody else gets the tank armor.
Damn. The hell? Look at that.
Yeah, the little bullet casings flying off are especially fun to see.
Oh yeah.
Look at the gosh, man, muzzle flash.
Yes. Teabag, it says, I want suppressors so bad. And oh my God, speaking of Borderlands, I can't wait for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with that.
Yeah, I heard about that. I didn't play Borderlands 3. I got like a third of the way through and stopped. I'll forever be a Borderlands 2 man.
I love Borderlands 2. I got
halfway through Borderlands 2, and then like I was playing it with my brother, and then he moved out and we stopped playing. And you know, I think I just never picked back up. I tried it a couple times on my own, but once you've played a game like that with a friend, going back and playing it by yourself is for me not as enjoyable.
Yeah, you and me started playing it for a little bit.
Yeah, we started playing it for a little bit too.
I have it on PC now. You can actually do it on PC.
Oh yeah, I think my new baby can handle that.
Oh,
That's not just
Borderlands isn't very intense on computers. The second one.
Okay. Well, that's good. We'll have to see about that because I definitely would like to finish that. It's not just a model; it tells a story. That's talent.
Oh.
I always love when a model tells a story.
Okay, I no longer can do lava bases. I used to do lava bases. Now I no longer do them. No.
Necromancer and Krieg were my favorite Vault Hunters. They are very cool characters.
I am just stumped.
This salamander is like mind blowing.
I've mucked around once with a kind of glowing effect like that, and it was not easy.
So I tried a kind of glowing similar to this with and this was a long time ago. This was really when I really started getting into my airbrushing. So I tried it with my Skitari Vanguard guys. They all have a little radioactive rifles, and I tried to do the radioactive glow on them. But then I tried doing the radioactive glow off of areas that would catch light from the rifle. So I tried like their elbows and like the side of their masks, and I need more practice. Well, actually, I think that I'm getting some practice. I think it came out way better like on the battle wagon, but like at the time I was like, this just looks like overspray. This doesn't look like I did it intentionally.
I know. Highland painting.
Yes, Highland painting. I love, again, you know, I really love vibrant models. I say it all the time, but like I love how like there are certain areas like the skin of the goblin is very pastel. You know, and so like it's like he's very real in like this whimsical everything else around him, Really, really awesome looking. Love the vibrant yellow moons and the purple mushroom, and just all of it is so cool. Very, very, like I said, whimsical, playful. It reminds me of like Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
The best glow I managed is on a base, but there's a giant predator standing on it, so it's not so noticeable. Don't you hate it when you do something brilliant and then you cover it up? And I've shown this guy off before where he had started his orc army. This is his, I want to say this is a Boomdakis Snazwagon. I'm sure Marcos or somebody will correct me. I think this is
Anthony Monica somewhere.
Oh my gosh, this guy's orc scheme drives me crazy. It's so good. Honestly, like I said before, I wish I had seen this about 2,500 points ago, because this would probably be my golf color scheme if I didn't already have an army painted.
It's clean, but it doesn't ruin it still looks orky.
Right.
It's like all the fancy, or not fancy, but like the aesthetic plates. Oh, that's a custom boosted blaster. Thank you, Big Mac. Like all the aesthetic plates are like, vibrant, clean, but then like all the mechanical stuff, it's all worn and stuff.
Tired, I'm shutting stuff down. Come on.
Thank you, Big Mac.
Where's this Mythos?
It is yes. It's I've got more detail on whatever screen's got the There we go.
Oh, that is
so that is a pain boy, I'm pretty sure, an albino pain boy or a pale
It's the body is an old Warhammer fantasy ogre. I can tell by like the shoulder, the way the shoulder blade slots in, because I built some of them.
Nice.
Oh, and the legs. Yeah, it's an old ogre.
So like you were mentioning earlier, an ogre with the head swap for an orc. We got brother Shameless, the boys. Good to see you, my brother. There we go.
Coke.
Yeah.
That's it.
Made himself a custom pain boy. He has enough jabs for everybody, and he also made a kamikaze Gretchen.
Oh, look.
Really amazing custom conversions. That's so cool. Pain boss, too big for a boy, baby. Apparently that's his grot orderly.
Won't be for long.
Oh, yeah. Look at the eyeballs.
This is probably the coolest demon I've ever seen. This,
I don't know what it is.
The colors on this are just so eye-catching. The purples, the blues, the greens.
It looks very FromSoft. It looks very Dark Souls, Demon Souls.
Right? I have no words.
Lord of Slaughter from...
Can you imagine him under a black light? He's the party at the point.
Oh, wow.
Those transitions, bro, those highlights, the shapes that are added in with the paint job.
Is it meant to be water at the end of the wings?
It almost does, don't it? I swear, it almost looks like you're looking at the ocean. This is no.
Pure chaos made manifest. You're right, Big Mac. This is like straight out of the warp.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it kind of reminds me of like spoiler alert for like a 30-year-old book. This reminds me of like when Magnus accidentally breaks into the throne room and he's just like sheathed in warp flesh, you know, like still literally made of the warp around him. That's what this kind of reminded me of. It's like the whole body is like the warp itself. Hey, look at that demon ass crack.
Booty.
So, I mean, if we didn't have a Chippendales reference in here somewhere, okay, Lord of Slaughter, you need to back that dump truck up, baby.
Yeah.
You did say something about head earlier.
Gary, my man, good to see you. Good to see you. Some extra spicy work on display. Right. We actually burned all of our brushes about half an hour ago.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Thanks, Mythos throws 30-year-old book into a brush burning fire. I love Colin's scratch builds.
Yeah.
Colin here in the chat.
This one's not a scratch build. This is Machine and Kruger. It's a line of like Japanese. I don't know if he's still here. Yeah, if he I don't know how to describe it. It's all very like industrial space, old school astronaut.
I love that.
So you're trying to get me into it, and I definitely will when I can find one that doesn't cost 3 times what it's worth. But but no, I love them so much. Yeah,
I love this Gundam Space Marine crossover.
Soccer Marine. Yeah, and it's in Char's colors. It's even got the shoulder spikes.
See, I was going to say Zaku, but I was wrong earlier when I said Zaku. So
That's so cool, man.
I still haven't been condemned for buying a red Zaku and painting it green.
that's good. That's good.
I think this one's a scratch build.
Yes, I remember this one from A, your chat, and B, you're displaying it on one of your videos. Mm-hmm. This one is absolutely incredible. This gives me old school, early 90s anime that used to come on like Sci-Fi Channel. Like that's, I know that's a very specific vibe, but that's the vibe I get from this. Like super early 90s era post-apocalyptic anime.
60s robots.
And that's kind of the Machine and Kruger vibe as well.
That is so crazy. I look at this. I think of
is that a diesel punkish model line by designer, you know what? Freak can pronounce that Japanese. He's really good at it.
Anyone there?
Have a great night, Phoenix. Good to have you along.
Is there a name around here?
For this piece, all of these are by Colin in the chat.
Oh, Colin. Mm-hmm. This reminds me of just Wall-E. Just watching this, so cool. You know, they like one of the robots that were left on Earth with Wall-E. You know,
Kaiju said it's the Pixar lamp.
Yeah, I love it, man. It just weird. It gives me that vibe of just being isolated. You know. Weird. And
he puts something, we were talking about like circular versus square bases.
Yeah.
Colin has these really ornate wooden bases. Like they're always, they'll either be like a kind of a pillar, like they'll be like 10, 15 centimeters tall, or he's got that really like ornate one there.
Very nice.
That scratch build with the giant walker, that's my favorite one that I've seen you do so far, Colin. Since we joined Weather Pig's chat, that's been my favorite one I've seen you do. Really incredible work. So much spiciness tonight. Ooh. Wow. So that right there is almost us caught up on Art of the Week. I do have new submissions from Commodore tonight that's going to be held off till next Art of the Week, but so much cool stuff. Bases are so important to how a model's being viewed, in his opinion. It's basically like a frame for a painting. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, I really like just the fact that he uses tall bases sometimes. Even though it's small, like it could be a wargaming piece on a base, it makes it just look like a mini diorama, which it is, but it's hard to explain.
Right.
Definitely.
Well, Freak, I know we have gone on for quite a while tonight. Do you have any closing thoughts for the night, my brother, on this Art of the Week special?
No, man, this was fantastic. I honestly, this was probably the best Art of the Week that I've come across, man. This was very intimidating. So I was like, but you know, that's what we do, right? We seem to do really well during the week, and then we just get deflated at the end. And I was like, there's so many people better than me. I'm gonna go take up knitting.
Yeah. Oh, you know, we spend more money on brushes than anything else after we ritualistically burn our brushes.
Pretty much. Week. Yep. The chanting, I think, gets my wife pretty annoyed. But yeah.
Big shout out. Thank you so much, Weather Pig, for coming on tonight.
Yeah, man.
It was so good to hang with you again, my brother.
Thank you.
A lot of fun, dude.
Again, anyone who isn't subscribed, which everyone should be subscribed to the Weather Pig at this point. Obviously, you know, definitely one of our favorites and fantastic painter. Great channel. Much more professional than these two yahoos.
Oh, yeah. I think his stuff works. Ours just barely, you know.
He's got a proper artistic channel. And that's something I meant to bring up with you earlier. If you could summarize shortly about the new direction of your channel, you know, where you've been doing some shorter videos and not necessarily covering an entire paint or build of something.
It's kind of changed out of necessity, really. I haven't had the time to make the old videos I used to, but it's always been about experimentation and trying things. So I'm really trying to hone in on that one. So I'm still going to do the videos where I just show off my projects to talk about them, but I'm thinking of doing more discussion-based videos, talking about, do you use this technique? Why don't you? Why should I? Why should you? That kind of thing. I bit off a bit more than I could chew on the first one, but we'll see what I do next time.
Also, I've shared this video several times before. If anyone's not seen any of his talking head videos, he really does have some good talking head videos about artistic philosophy and also the hobby. Here's one of my favorites about not just your hobby and how, you know, it really applies to, like, you know, the way people enjoy the hobby differently. So definitely check that video out.
And I've got a video ready to go right now. So I might, as soon as you end it, I'll probably premiere that over on my channel if anyone wants to hop in the chat while I do that.
Grumpy. Oh my God. Dude, we were just talking about your city, you know, the whole... Oh my gosh, dude, you are a beast. You need to stop. Just stop, all right? Okay? We already feel inferior as it is. God, man.
My favorite part of all your work tonight, Grumpy, was the buildings that look like Stormwind City.
Gosh, yeah, man. From World of Warcraft, man. Jeez. Freaking beast, man.
They were fantastic. They were like your Gothic kind of, like, not ruins, but like proper Gothic buildings.
Freaking gorgeous.
Yeah, they look like they were straight out of World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Wybird, good evening, my brother. Or morning, you know.
Yeah, definitely. So.
Last I've got here is, of course, our brother and sponsor for the channel, who we got to hang out, have some great hang out with this weekend, Brother Oni. Again, remember, if you use our link to go over to his print store, he's got some pretty cool, like, amazing stuff.
No, Grumpy. No, I did not. You're as bad as IDICBeer. Nick did that to me, man. He did that crap to me. But a decapitated Imperial Fist guy. Nah, man. I was so... Hey, I love your work, man, but you suck, okay?
He's got some great stuff. You saw with the gifts he showed me earlier, he does some really quality prints, so definitely check out his print shop.
Yeah, he does, man. Yeah, y'all need to go check out stuff, man.
Lupus for us. Good to see you, my brother. Guys, we really enjoyed having you along tonight. Great way to kick off the weekend is having you guys with us, and there was really great conversation. And definitely, some of you that were new to the channel, looking forward to see more of you.
Come on, man. Don't do this to me.
Hopefully, we'll see more of you in future videos. If you guys like tonight's episode, please make sure that you grab up an ox and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. Drop us some comments down below, especially if you're watching from the archives, and feel free to be part of any of these ridiculous conversations. Or actually tonight, a lot of actually good wargaming and artistic conversations. This was actually, hobby and wargaming for most of the show tonight. Yeah.
I'm going to throw this out to you. By the way, if you guys want to see the moo, just type in moo in the chat, and you will get your own moo, guys. That moo is just for you.
Oh man! And if you guys are not yet subscribed to the Weather Pig, our brother, or of course, any of our Chilling Network brothers down in the links below, or if you're not yet subscribed to these couple of yahoos, then we would really love to have you as part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. So subscribe and make sure that you keep it frosty.
Hold on.